What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Any dogs in the house? Woo, 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 woo. Any dogs in the house? Woo, 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 woo. Now, with that out of the way, shall we begin?
Lobo Nation is on Jack FM. KOOI, Jacksonville, Tyler, Longview.
106.5 Jack FM presents the John King Coaches Show.
Brought to you by Peter Chevrolet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Buick in Longview.
Well, welcome to the playoffs, sports fans. Harlan, the sports guy, and Pigskin Bob on the John King Coaches Show, presented by Peter Chevrolet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Buick and Fiat. Longview, Texas. It's the third season. You get non-district play, you get regular season, and now here we go. The March to Win 6. Let's bring in John King, the star of the John King Coaches Show. And best time of the year, Coach?
It is fun time of the year. It's do or die. It's a one-game season in this Texas high school football. Playing in the playoffs, the best state in the United States to play high school football. Great time of the year. Fans coming out and supporting their local teams and their alma mater, and it's just an exciting time. And we're excited to be in the playoffs.
And the fact that you get a home game in the playoffs now.
That's big, and 5A and 6A, top seed, gets the home game. Now, for 5A, we got Division I, Division II, so it'd always be 1 and 2 get the home game. 6A, they're not pre-split, so you've got to be a higher seed. So there is a possibility like a 2 could play a 2. Then they have to do the flip for neutral site. But if it's a 1 playing a 2 or 3 or whatever, then the higher seed gets it. So 6A is a little bit different in that way, but yeah.
And here's a perfect example of how it can be so beneficial in the playoffs, because Crosby to Longview is a heck of a haul.
It is a haul.
You better pack a lunch.
3.5, 4 hour drive. We had to make one of those in 2016 to Beaumont Westbrook. So, yeah, that's the bad part about it, because 5A Division I is pretty spread out now.
Yeah.
When they split us into Division I, Division II, so the area we cover from one district to the next is a little bit further. So that is a little bit of a hardship, but I think you still need to be rewarded with a home game.
Coach, before we get too deep into the Crosby Cougars, let's kind of take a second here and look back on a perfect regular season. One real test. We knew last week wasn't going to be much of a test. Going into that, we kind of talked about that. You had one really good test in Lancaster. And kind of summarize how you feel about the Lobos going into and coming out of the regular season.
Well, we lived up to our billing, I guess. Ranked preseason number 1, which I was real happy we got in the Classic, and I thought we opened the season up in fine fashion against McKinney Board up there. I wasn't sure how good they were, how many they had coming back. They had been good a year before, but we handled business. A new team on the road, playing in the Classic, had to go through a rainstorm, and we come out of there with a convincing win, and then we had Marshall and Tyler Legacy. We handled those guys pretty well in non-district play to inter-district, and had to open up with Lufkin at Lufkin.
Yeah.
And we really played well that night, and they didn't. And the score kind of shows that. But Lufkin was probably a better team than what we thought after the game coming out of it, because of the way they finished the season. I know they losing overtime. McKinney North had a couple of turnovers late against Forney. They're one score game with Lancaster last game of the year, with still an outside chance to get in. So
yeah, that was kind of crazy.
They got better, and they were not a bad team. They just had a bad night. But then the real test, as you mentioned, was Lancaster. Probably the one and only true test we've had in terms of having to play late into the fourth quarter, with the game still in balance. But we found a way to win. Defense got a turnover. They got a stop. Offense scored late in the game to seal that thing. So, and then the rest of our district games were all pretty much over with by the third or fourth quarter, So you look back at the season and you're thinking, well, we're 10-0, but we've only had one true test.
Right.
And that's Lancaster. Now, Crosby's going to present a different set of problems, and when you get to the playoffs, it's always a different set of problems. You don't know much about them, coming from a different area, even though they're in your region, but they're from,
Yeah, you don't know a lot of coaches that have played them or anything like that.
Do not.
They're a mystery.
And as much fun as you say it's fun now, now that you're in the playoffs, is it just a touch nerve-wracking as well?
It's nerve-wracking every year in the playoffs.
Particularly this first round.
First round,
you don't know much about the team you're playing.
Well, it's kind of like opening the season up. You want to get the first win, get it on your belt, get things going. You want to feel good about yourself. Well, the playoffs are the same way. Probably 10 times worse. because you know that you don't get any more. If you
There
don't
is
play
no
well.
next
It's
week.
over. You know,
Yes.
You never want to put the pads away early.
No, you don't. But so that's the thing about it. You got to get the first playoff win and to get the thing going and continue your season. So that's kind of that is a nerve-wracking
And
part.
let's go ahead and layer the expectations that people have on you and your Lobos, considering who you are and who Crosby is.
Well, we've always been expected to win, and regardless of who the competition is, that's the expectation around Lobo football.
Love it.
You know, when I tell coaches all the time, the only thing worse than 0-10 is 10-1.
Right.
And, you know, that can put a knot in your stomach. And we've had one of those. And believe me, that's one of those you never forget. But, you know, we're going to match up with Crosby, but, you know, they are 6-4. They got the fourth place seed, but they were picked to win the district.
Preseason ranked number 6.
They're a good football team. They had some injuries they had and they had the 3-game stretch there in district play where they lost 3 in a row by 1 or 2 possessions.
Without their quarterback.
Lost one without their quarterback. Lost one late, Barbers Hill, by 1 point. And Port Arthur Memorial beat them 7, and then Kingwood Park beat them a couple of scores. So other than that, they've pretty much dominated everybody they play.
You've been on, but going back to, you're looking ahead to the playoffs. You've been on both ends of the spectrum on that deal. First round exits when you're supposed to win, and having the head of the UIL hand you that big trophy.
Yeah, I want the latter.
But you've certainly experienced them all.
Have. I mean, we've experienced pretty much everything in the playoffs, whether we were going in 10-0 or 6-4. I mean, we've been a 500 ball club before we went to the semifinals.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
when you get in the playoffs, crazy things can happen. It's all about matchups. It's all about who stays healthy. It's all about who makes plays at the right time to extend their season. And it's about what team's still hungry to play. I've been a part of some teams that you could tell during the week of practice they didn't give a flip about being out there. They were tired.
Right.
So you got to be careful of that and judging your team and knowing how to practice and how to motivate them and take care of them and keep them going, you know. But just like anything else, the more you win and the closer you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, you can see that goal coming into fruition, the more excited they're going to get.
Had an upset last night. New Boston, 5-5 team, won their first playoff game.
And, of course, you've been on both sides of that, but it's lopsided. Your first round record is 16-2. So you've only had a couple of losses.
I remember them too.
I bet you can't name all 16, but you remember them too, don't you?
Dang sure do.
That's right.
I mean, that's what you remember. I guess
I understand.
That's what
I
stings.
understand.
That's what just stays with you for a long time. I was talking to some coaches last night in the press box during the game at Lobo Stadium. That's what we were talking about. A lot of the victories. You know, it's not that you take them for granted. You just don't remember them like do the losses. Those losses you learn from.
Sting.
Yeah, and they keep that fire.
You can't let
in
a
it.
loss get you twice. I mean, it's you better learn from it. And there's things I do differently now than I did back then.
All right, so I'm sure there's people playing along in their car going to the game. What were the 2 losses?
South Garland in 05, Westbrook in
remember that.
2016.
And Westbrook in 16, that's right. I remember both those games.
I do too, vividly. Yeah.
Yeah, we got in trouble because of one of them.
We got in trouble on one of them. Thanks a lot, Coach.
Yeah. Well, wish I hadn't lost.
I wish the same thing.
All right, let's come back and talk about the Crosby Cougars. They were picked to win their district. They were preseason ranked number 6, 5 behind the Lobos. Could be an interesting matchup. We'll talk about it after this on the John King Coaches Show, presented by Peter Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, Fiat, Longview, Texas. This is your home for the Longview Lobos, 106.5 Jack FM.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. Experience fun and freedom with the legendary Jeep line at Peters, built with you in mind and ready for adventure. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery. Or come see us to reserve your next new Jeep with the options you want. Peters Jeep in Longview.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Story and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
Unit 1, move out. Roger. Unit 2, move out.
10-4.
Unit 3, move out.
Got it.
Remember, men, your mission is to find every nook and cranny the enemy can use to infiltrate this premises. Then it will be your duty to neutralize the invaders with extreme prejudice.
Copy that.
Roger.
Moving out. Don't let the pest take over your home. Shut down the operation today. Call the Bug Police to patrol your property at 553-9003 or visit them online at thebugpolice.com. The Bug Police. They shoot to kill and aim to please.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Bitches RV is a bit new around here, so we have questions. What exactly is bigger in Texas? Is it really everything, or is it just high school football? We can't wait to see for ourselves every Friday night with our Longview Lobos family. Bitches is built on family, and fun, and lifelong memories. Sounds like football in Texas, right? So we got your back every pregame, tailgate, postgame, after party, and everything in between. Go Lobos! Bitches RV, where memories begin.
Sophie's Car Wash, a longtime sponsor of Longview Lobo football. Now with their third location in Lakeport, plus the original on Highway 80 and their self-serve location on Wall Street in Longview. For savings and convenience, get a monthly pass good at the Highway 80 location or in Lakeport. Sophie's is a place to be. Once again, Sophie's Car Wash is proud to support Longview Lobo football. Go Lobos!
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Harlan, the sports guy, John King, and Pigskin Bob back on the John King Coaches Show, presented by
Peters, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, Fiat, Ram, Audi, and Mercedes-Benz. Did I get all of them?
I think you got all of them in there. It's like Joey when he tried to name the 50 states. He came up with 53.
Okay.
Right?
Better than I thought, Bob.
Well, I need to write it down. I think everything is for sale over there at Peters.
They'll sell it to you.
Yes, sir.
And they've got inventory over there, don't they?
Yes, they do.
I mean, it's amazing. Some of the shops you drive by and they got 4 cars out front. He's got 400.
There's sometimes after practice I'll come down here and make a circle through the parking lot and see what they got out new and different.
Yeah.
You know, which Mark's always trying to sell me a car.
Yeah.
know?
And every now and then he does.
Every now and again he gets lucky.
Yeah, but you told me last week when we were getting out of the trucks together, you love your truck.
I do.
The old jacked up door.
2012, baby, sentimental.
No, you need an 18. You want it all in 18, you ought to drive an 18.
Drive an 18.
You like
That's
that
a good
thought?
idea.
Thought about that.
How about that?
Mark, get him a Silverado 18, 2500, and let's go.
Well, just don't make it a diesel.
Well, Peter Chevrolet will help us be all the way through the playoffs, and we appreciate them as well.
You bet.
And, Coach, we kind of touched a little bit on Crosby. You know, they were a Division II team, till recently. But they come into this year preseason ranked number 6. They got a quarterback who threw for 2,500 yards, ran for 1,300 yards, 40-something touchdowns, and they're picked to win their district. He gets hurt. They had some other kids hurt. They get off to a slow start in district. But you better bring your big boy pants for this one because they could be dangerous.
Yeah, don't look at the record.
Right.
Watching their videotape, you can see that they're a fine football team. And, 2020, they play for the state championship, get beat by Alito. Then last year
Come on, Alito?
Yeah, they're a good team. Then last year they go to the semifinals and wind up getting beat by Liberty Hill. Along the way, they defeated Marshall and Texas High to get there. So they've played some East Texas teams. That's what I told our kids. I mean, they've played Marshall, beat them. They played Texas High and beat them. So I mean,
they just see you as another.
They see you as a faceless opponent. That's right. So they're good. Coach Brieto's very innovative. What he does on offense. Those kids believe in what they do. Defensively, they give you 1,000 different looks. kids. They're coming from everywhere, so it's a difficult team to prepare for. And then you add into the fact that all the great players they got. It's a difficult matchup, and we will definitely have to play well.
And Harlan was hitting on the point that they had some injuries early on. Have those kids been able to come back and ready for the playoffs?
Yeah, well, the important one, quarterback has. Yeah, for sure.
He's back.
5 linebackers back. They lost another receiver, I think, along the way. But so many different lineups they've had, it's hard to say. I don't think anybody was lost for the season. Okay. But our scouts didn't see anybody, in crutches or boots or arm slings or nothing like that. So I think they're all back.
Johnny says their quarterback, Cyron Miles.
K-Iron is how it's spelled.
K-Iron.
Yes.
It's C-Y-R-I-N. We're going to call him Miles.
Okay.
Hey, little guy, 5'11", 108 pounds. We were talking this morning with Johnny Vaughn when we were eating breakfast burritos from the Spindle Top.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
He said he reminded him of the Lancaster quarterback. Does that sound right?
Yeah, probably. He's elusive, fast, great arm, just commands the offense. I was talking with Jerry Stanford at Texas High, and they played him. I said, what did you think? He said, I can tell the quarterbacks, it goes through him, everything. I think he's valedictorian of his class, and just a lot of good things the kid does. You can see by the way he plays, he has total command of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And plays with class, kids rallying around him. So,
boy, when they got it between the ears and they got the athletic ability, scary.
And when you're returning starter, it's even scarier. I mean, he's been there and done it. He made a run to the semifinals last year.
Does he have a lot of help up front, though? How's his offensive line?
Their offensive line's pretty good. And what they do, all they got to be is pretty good. They get the ball on the perimeter, and they screen you, and they throw it, and they get jet motion. And so there's a lot of smoke and mirrors of what they do, but their skill guys are the ones that stand out to me the most.
You got them figured out?
I hope we're going to line up something.
We're going to find out.
If that ain't working, we're going to adjust. But we're going to.
Now that you said before we went on the air, it doesn't work the first time, run it again.
Well, I'm not going to say we're going to change after the first rep. But,
right.
Yeah, we've got a couple of plans to try to, defend them and manage what they do.
Okay, we've been running away from the rain for the past couple of weeks, and you're not going to be able to dodge it tonight. All right?
Okay.
So I understand you're building a dome. That you and Randy Peters are going to build a dome over there at Lobo Stadium.
That's a good idea. I need to go talk to Randy.
I believe that's going to help. It kind of favors the Lobos if it's a little bit wet, nasty, wind's blowing.
Yeah, it's supposed to be gusts of wind up to 20, 30 miles an hour, and you've got a chance of rain. It's about 50% now.
And you're loaded with great running backs.
But yeah, we played in the rain week 1, against McKinney Boyd. So we've been through a rain game, just not with it being 45 degrees. That'll be another factor. So it'll determine the game. I guess whoever handles the situation or the elements the best, that'll be a big deciding factor in the game. But like I tell them all the time, if it's raining on both sides.
Yep.
If it's wind blowing, it's blowing on both sides. It blows both ways. Who handles it? Who can manage it? We're not going to make excuses. Go play.
But there are styles of play that fit better in certain weather conditions and surfaces, and the Lobos are much more prepared for a bad weather game than Crosby.
I hope so.
Yeah.
But they run the ball too. They just do it differently. They may not be in the heavy tight end sets, but they try to use different motion and stuff. And RPO. They're still going to be able to run the ball, whether it's raining or wind's blowing or nothing. Whether it's not.
Against the Longview Lobos.
Well, that's the plan. But
Jack, come on.
We got to go get that decided on the field.
Okay, how are they looking defensively?
Defensively,
yeah,
they're good. They give you so many looks and blitz you and always have pressure. And they remind me a lot of what Magnolia was last year when we played him in the first round. And because you never could out leverage them out, they were always going to be +1 to leverage the formation. So in that way, they do that. Their inside linebackers are great at reading blocks. 42's a sophomore, and that son Gunn's a physical tackler. 5, another kid that's a real good player they'd lost for a few weeks. He's back, so he helps them too. In secondary, who knows what they're going to do? Play man, they'll spin it. They'll play zone. They kind of just disguise everything. So
we got one more minute, and I want you to finish up talking about Willie Nelson, the year he's had, because we listen to the games on 106.5 Jack FM, and it just seems like every time there's a big play, the redheaded stranger, Willie Nelson's on the other end of it.
Willie's a good player, smart. He's instinctive. He can play safety, he can play corner, he returns punts. I mean, Willie could play running back if we needed him to. He's just a football player that understands scheme, he understands the game, the moment, the situation they're in. And he's a junior. That's maybe the best thing. We get him one more year.
Awesome.
But Willie's a good player.
All right, well, Coach, we're going to go take care of the Crosby Cougars tonight. And next week, we're going to do this again. Get ready for round 2 of the playoffs, area round. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
I know you guys aren't taking these guys lightly.
Nope.
And that should be a Lobo victory. I was looking at your scoring verses and for something, and I know you're going to pretend you don't know it. Something like 430 to 70, 68, something like that. Sound about right?
I know we haven't given up many points, but I can tell you this, all relative to who you're playing. Don't read too much into that.
Right. Let's go fire up that Lobo defense and show this kid how East Texans teams can really be. All right?
I agree.
Will you do that for me?
We'll talk about it off there.
Go 1-0 this week.
1-0's a go.
All right, don't take off the headset yet. We got to thank our good friends at Peter Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, Fiat. When we come back, we're going to Lobos Stadium for bi-district playoffs with Brian Houston, Johnny Vaughn, and their call of Lobo football in the playoffs on 106.5 Jack FM.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. Sleek and sporty or bold and spacious, we have the SUV you're looking for to fit you and your lifestyle. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery, or come see us to reserve the SUV you need with the options you want. Peters Chevrolet. Find new roads.
This has been the John King Coaches Show on 106.5 Jack FM.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview. Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Do you know any experienced health professionals? If so, the team at Christus Good Shepherd would love to meet them. Call us today at 833-315-GOOD and you could receive $1,500 for the referral. We need associates in surgery, lab, imaging, nursing, respiratory, and therapy. At Christus, we value what each individual brings to our mission and aim to create a culture where quality of work and quality of life live harmoniously. It's a win-win. Call today, 833-315-4663.
GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar, the perfect venue for your office holiday party. David and his staff will make it a fantastic event with great food and an inviting atmosphere. It's time to book your company party at GZ's. How about an office lunch or cocktail party with fresh sushi and Asian delicacies along with cheese and fruit trays? The holidays get even merrier by taking your employees or family to GZ's Asian Bistro. Reserve your holiday party. Call 247-8000. That's 247-8000. Gift certificates available. GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar in the Village on Judson Road in Longview.
And for the win, name something that is hard to find.
Your keys, 4-leaf clover, needle in a haystack, true love.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is a job. Better luck next time.
Don't trust luck. Trust First Choice Personnel. For years, First Choice has been delivering hard-to-find talent, even in highly competitive sectors. First Choice Personnel will be the only choice you need. FirstChoicePersonnel.net.
What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. Any dogs in the house? Woo, 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 woo. Any dogs in the house? Woo, 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 woo. Now, with that out of the way, shall we begin?
Hell yeah! 106.5 Jack FM presents Longview Lobo High School Football.
Lobo Nation, you're listening to the Lobo Radio Network on KOOI Jacksonville. Brought to you by Peter Chevrolet Chrysler Dodge Jeep Buick and Longview. Longview Kilgore Cable TV. The law offices of Sorey and Hoover. Eastman Credit Union. First Choice Personnel. Soapy's Car Wash. Bish RV of Longview. Christus Good Shepherd Medical Center. The Bug Police. Flood Out Restoration. McDaniel's Quality Body Works. And Telco Plus Credit Union. Lobo Nation. Are you ready? The Lobos are on 106.5 Jack FM.
Lobo Nation, it's time for Longview High School playoff football on 106.5 Jack FM. Live from Lobo Stadium in Longview, Texas. It's game one of the second season, a bi-district contest between the state's number one ranked Class 5A Division I team, the 10-0 Longview Lobos, and the Crosby Cougars. I'm Brian Houston along with Johnny Vaughn. Before the season, this matchup was predicted to take place in the regional semifinals. Lobos of John King met all their expectations, going unbeaten for the fifth time under his leadership. Lobos are coming off a 70-0 win over West Mesquite that gave them the outright District 8 5A Division I championship. Lobos score almost 48 points per game. They're led by tailback Taylor Tatum, who has rushed for 1,118 yards and 21 touchdowns. The defense gives up less than 8 points a game, and featured linebacker Tadarian Boone, who has 69 tackles, 13 tackles for a loss, 6 sacks, 4 interceptions, and 3 defensive touchdowns. The Crosby Cougars are coached by Jerry Prieto. They played in a state championship game just 2 years ago and were ranked number 6 in the state at the beginning of the year, but got off to a 2-4 start due to injuries before winning 4 in a row to close out the season. They finished at 6-4 and in 4th place in District 8 5A Division I. The Cougars score 34 points per game. They're led by Kyron Miles, who has 14 touchdowns and 8 rushing scores. The defense gives up 29 points a game. It is Longview versus Crosby in the bi-district round of the state playoffs. Johnny Vaughn, this thing may be a little closer than we thought it might be when we looked at the way, when you're playing a 4th-place team.
Right. You look at that and you say, okay, well, the team that finishes 4th is probably not going to be that good, and I think the exception is here because what happened to them is they had a lot of people injured early on in the season. They lost their quarterback. They lost some running backs. They got them all back playing, and they ended up winning the last 4 games. They're at 6-4. They're a team that has been in the playoffs, even though at a lower classification. But when you've been in the playoffs, you understand what you've got to do. So they're not going to come in here and be intimidated by playing the first round in Longview.
It is 47 degrees. There is no rain right now. There's a 40% chance of rain in the forecast at the 7 o'clock hour. But other than that, we've got a wind chill of 41 degrees. So it's going to be chilly. It's going to be damp. That could have an impact on the ball game tonight. The coin toss has already been made, and Crosby has won it, and they have elected to receive to start the ball game. So we're going to take a 1-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll be back with the beginning of this football game. It's Longview and Crosby in the bi-district round of the state playoffs on 106.5 Jack FM.
East Texas. It's simpler life that we all enjoy and one we call home. We've been serving our neighbors for over 60 years. From the very beginning, through the college years, and when they return to begin their lives. We're more than a bank, established in Texas, for Texans. We're East Texas Professional Credit Union, and we're here for you. Welcome home.
Dan Sorey has been named to the top 10 nursing home lawyers in the state of Texas. Many East Texans have questions about the care of their loved ones in a nursing home. They just don't know who to ask. If you suspect your loved one has been abused in a nursing home, unexplained falls and bruises, malnutrition and bed sores, call for a free consultation. 903-CALL-DAN. As a community, it's important to look out and protect our elderly population. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN.
Back at Lobo Stadium, Brian Houston along with Johnny Vaughn as we're just seconds away from the kickoff tonight. The Lobos wearing their all-green outfits tonight. Green jerseys, green pants. the gold numbers, the green headgear with that traditional L on the helmets. Across the way, the Crosby Cougars in the white jerseys, white helmets, red pants, and red numerals, and a wind blowing pretty solid coming out of the southeast right now at about 10 miles an hour, 10 to 12 miles an hour. So, again, if you're going from right to left, you'll be going right into that wind, and so that could affect, again, the passing game, and Crosby likes to throw it around, Johnny.
Yeah, they've got a good offense. They've got good receivers, a good quarterback. They do like to throw the football. To me, it surprises me that they would take the ball first and give up playing into the wind against Longview's defense. And personally, I wouldn't have done that, because if we can hold them down here, we're going to get good field position, because I'm telling you, high school players are not going to be able to punt into this kind of wind. So I think this is an advantage for Longview right here, kicking the ball with the wind to start this game.
Well, the one place where Longview separates from Crosby is on defense. Again, the Crosby defense gives up about 29 points a game. The Longview Lobos give up about 8 points a game all year long, and they've been fantastic all year long. And so we'll get to see them right off the start against this Crosby offense.
And if the defense can step up and stop them down here, it's going to you're going to have a chance to get some really good field position.
Now Michael Fields is going to kick with the wind to his back to start this ball game from his left to his right, and he puts his foot into it, and the playoffs are underway. Taken at the 3-yard line, brought out to the 5, 10, 15. No, he's brought down to the 13-yard line. Good kick coverage back there. And a heck of a tackle by number 28 for Longview, Javion Robertson, on the return man. And so offensively, we're going to see Jake Brown, Caleb Jett, Ryan Murren, Kason McMullen, and Gabriel Fernandez at the offensive line. We'll see Kyron Miles at quarterback. Levi Fontenot should be the running back. David Arge, the tight end. Braden Womack, Luke Smith, and Christian Robertson are the wide receivers. And the first thing they'll do is hand it off to Fontenot on 1st and 10, and he's going to get very little running room, maybe a gain of 1 on the play. Lobo defense, Omarion Watkins in the middle, Billy Smith and Jordan Wright on the ends. Linebackers Jeremiah Rusley, Caden Brooks, Tadarian Boone, and Chase Smith. It is second down from the 15-yard line. Back to throw, pressure, and quarterback's going to go down. There's a sack. And that's been the case of the defense all year long. And you got to love it. The Longview Lobos smother Miles. Caden Brooks gets there first.
That's been the strength of the defense the last few weeks, is their front four. And first real running play, and they make a sack or a loss, tackling for a loss.
Third down and 10. And again, they hand it off, and no running room. Rusley in on the stop. And again, Miles tried to keep it on the quarterback keeper that time. And again, that offensive line having nothing. So Crosby goes 3 and out, Johnny, and it's very much what you just said. Longview should get great field position.
You're going to have a real difficult time running against Longview, where the quarterback takes a step and runs up the middle. They're too strong. That's the strength of the defense, is right there. So anyway, we should get field position here.
Willie Nelson's lined up on the Crosby 45-yard line. The punter's at his own 1, puts his foot into it. It's a low shanked kick that goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line. It's going to be an 18-yard punt, and Lobos are going to get great field position with 10:16 to go here in the first quarter.
That's exactly what I was talking about, that had the potential to happen. Is you get the ball deep, you can't move it, you got to punt. Now we're on the 32-yard line, and it's a great opportunity for the offense.
Lobos have Tavian Morgan at center, the guards Jacoby Watts, Mongo Williams at guard, and then Martin Guerrero and Jax Norman are the tackles. They'll come out with Jordan Allen at quarterback, Elijah Johnson the fullback, Taylor Tatum is the running back, Jalen Hale, the Kalen Reese, and there's a flag. And already a little bit of confusion, and a timeout had to be called by Longview. That's not the way you want to start this ball game.
It's their first timeout of the half.
Very first play on offense, and they've got to call a timeout.
Yeah. I don't know what happened there, some confusion, and the timeout was taken by Coach King.
Defensively, we expect to see on the front line Cole Langley, Dakota Adams, Isaiah Martin, and Luis Juarez. The linebackers, Matthew Jordan, Copeland Winfront, played as a freshman last year. Aiden Jones is a player that Coach King has mentioned as being outstanding. The secondary, Cade Robleski, Cameron Henry at the corners, Carson Larkin, and Brant Wright are the safeties. Now Lobos will come out 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. This time have the wing right. They shift the tight end and a wing to the left. And Allen hands it off to Elijah Johnson. And Johnson pushes it inside the 30 to about the 28-yard line.
Elijah Johnson on the carry.
That was interesting as they brought the corner on the back side on a blitz. Of course, he didn't get there, but that's an interesting way to start. They also were doubling up on this side on Jalen Hale.
Hale comes wide right. It's a 2 tight end set. Now they're in the I formation with Jordan Allen under center. And he'll hand it off to Taylor Tatum up the middle, and Taylor gets a push to the 24-yard line where he is tackled.
Taylor Tatum on the carry.
Just a straight handoff right up the middle, just power football. And the tackle made by Crosby's number 21, Tyler Larrivee. Ball will be spotted at the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for the Lobos. No score in this ball game. Boy, you'd hate to waste this incredible field position they got on this very first possession.
It's an important play here.
Again, a 2 tight end set. And Hale lined up tight to the right. They hand it off to Tatum up the middle to the 20. 18-yard line, 1st down Lobos.
Taylor Tatum picks up the 1st down.
I'll tell you, that's just power football by the offensive line, and they just moved the Crosby defensive players, and he almost stepped through that and got the big gain or the touchdown.
Big 1st down for the Lobos with 8:36 to go here in the first quarter. No score. Again, they'll send Hale out wide right. Tatum is lined up in the slot to the right. Now they send him in motion on jet motion to the left and hand it off to him. Coming around the left end, 10, 5, touchdown Longview. 19-yard touchdown run by Taylor Tatum.
Tell you, Brian, they're so packed in on their front 4, and when they run that little sweep, they don't have enough speed to get out there, and he turns the corner and makes a score. They're going to have to do something differently on defense than what they did on this first series.
Fields will come in to try the extra point. Andrew Tutt is the holder. Kicking with the wind to his back. Kick is up. Kick is good. Longview 7. Crosby nothing with 8:19 to play in the first quarter. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Not all damage is preventable.
Oh no, the squid monster's attacking our ship! We're going down!
But it is forgivable.
There's a waterfall coming down the stairs!
And fixable.
Flood Out Restoration specializes in residential and commercial water and fire damage restoration. Our services include fast action disaster recovery from fires, water extraction, and structural drying and mold remediation. We coordinate with your insurance company to reduce stress and restore your property quickly to get you back on your feet. FloodOutRestoration.com.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. The Ram truck lineup at Peters Ram is designed to go further and experience more. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery. Or come see us to reserve the Ram truck that's right for you with the options you want. Peters Ram in Longview.
Michael Fields will kick off after the Lobos take a 7-0 lead on Taylor Tatum's 18-yard run. High kick taken at the 6-yard line, brought out to the 10, 15, 20, 22, 23-yard line before he is brought down there. The return man, number 4, Braden Womack. And so Crosby will have it for their second possession. They had 3 and out on their first possession. They'll start at the 25-yard line. They elected to receive the opening kickoff, went 3 and out. Now there's a personal foul against Longview. That's going to give Crosby a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down. It happened after the kickoff, so that'll bring it out to the 40.
I just lost 15 yards right there.
They were in a great advantage field position-wise. Quick pass, Miles out to the right side. It's caught for a short gain out to Luke Smith. They'll give him about 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Pass is complete to Luke Smith.
They have 2 wide receivers to the left, wing to the left. Miles throws it out to Fontenot, swinging out of the backfield. And he's caught behind the line of scrimmage and thrown down by Chase Smith. No gain on the play. Good luck trying to run sideline to sideline against the Lobo defense.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's just playing right into the strength of the Lobos, and it's a non-effective play.
And again, another 3rd down and a real good opportunity with 3rd and 8. And 3 wide to the right side for Crosby to go 3 and out again. Lobo defensive lineman jumped, got back in time. They jumped again. This time they're going to get caught off sides. Free play. Miles throws it, caught over the middle to the Lobo 42-yard line. Catch was made by number 13. That's Cade Udy, and it's a first down for Crosby.
On the defense, number 96, that penalty is declined.
Penalty was called on Omarion Watkins. Whatever Miles was doing, he hard counted the Lobos, and they jumped, and they have the ball at the Longview 43-yard line, 1st and 10. Quick pass out to the right side. Hit right as he caught it and going to go down. And it's a great defensive play out there. Willie Nelson on the sidelines, knocking down the receiver. Again, Braden Womack.
Complete to Braden Womack.
And also out there on the corner is Chade Smith, who made the first contact. And Willie Nelson was able to come up and finish it off. They lost 2 on the play. It's 2nd down and 12 from the Longview 45-yard line. Crosby with the football, trailing 7-0 with 6:29 to go. Low snap, Miles back to throw, deep, right sidelines, caught! 15, 10, 5, and tackled.
That's impressive throw and impressive catch as they hit the seam route.
Kyron Miles' pass is complete to David Ard.
Dropped it right in there to David Ard, the tight end. He was tackled. Jakeven Curry stopped him, and then a quick handoff, a quick pass out to the left side, getting in space. Lobos swarm and take down number 2, Luke Smith. So good defensive pursuit out on the edge there by the Lobos. Chase Smith again with another tackle. And Crosby moving fast. 2nd down and goal from the 5. Send a man in motion to the right side. They'll hand it off right up the middle. Fontenot in for the touchdown. 5-yard touchdown run by Levi Fontenot.
Touchdown.
A straight dive play. They made a big hole, and he just walked into the end zone.
Heck of an answer by Crosby.
Yep. That one big play, the big pass play, that set all this up.
Coming out to try the kick. Looks like it's Cade Udy. They're a man short in the offensive line, but they're trying to tie the ball game up. Udy kicking into the wind, puts it up, no problem. Point after's good. Score tied. Longview 7, Crosby 7. With 5:40 to go in the first quarter, you're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Looking for a credit card with a great rate, no annual fee, and 24/7 fraud monitoring? An Eastman Credit Union Visa is exactly what you need this holiday season. Plus, through December 31st, you can earn more rewards and pay less interest. Earn double points on select net purchases using an ECU Cash Rewards or Platinum Preferred card. And pay 2.49% APR on all purchases using any ECU credit card. What are you waiting for? Visit ecu.org/earn-more to get started today.
Stuffing more people in your house this holiday? You'll be thankful for the fastest internet. Get Cable Link's broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data together for under $25 per month. All your wireless devices connect best with Cable Link's broadband, especially when you have friends and family come over with all their devices. Plus, we make it easy to switch. There's no credit check, no money up front, and no deposit. This holiday, gather family and friends for pie and Wi-Fi.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
A deep pass to David Ards sets Crosby up. Levi Fontenot takes it in from 5 yards out, caps a 60-yard drive, and it's a tie ball game, 7-7. Longview and Crosby all tied up. Udy tries an onside kick. Ball's free. It's coming loose. Who's going to get it? Looks like Crosby came up with it.
Well, that's a big risk for them, and it comes off. Longview really not prepared for the onside kick at this point.
Cash Glover was the man who recovered the onside kick. It was perfectly executed. It was hard for the Lobos to handle, and by the time somebody got there, they had 6 Crosby players all around it, and they're going to start in Longview territory at the 35-yard line.
What a turnaround here in just a couple of minutes.
So with 5:40 to go, Crosby gets the ball right back on a short field after an onside kick. Heck of a call by Coach Prieto. Miles, the quarterback, hands off to Fontenot. Up the middle, he's got room. He'll get into the secondary and get to the 30-yard line for a first down, 5-yard gain.
Adrian Garrett on the stop.
And right up to the line of scrimmage comes Crosby. They snap it again quickly. Fontenot again, this time runs into a wall. It's led by number 32, Caden Brooks. Gained a yard. It's going to be 3rd down and 4. Lobos need to find a way to stop this Crosby offense here. Zarius Shepard also helping in on that tackle. 2 wideouts to the right side on 3rd down now. And 3, jet sweep, handed off, right side. Trying to get to the sidelines and turn the corner. He does. And down the sidelines he goes. 5, touchdown. What a run. 25, 30, check that, 29 yards for Braden Womack on a jet sweep.
Yeah, and he looked like he had jet packs on his back as he turned the corner and just outran everybody from Longview secondary for the score.
And Udy back out to give the Crosby Cougars a 14-7 lead. It's blocked! And there's a flag that goes down after the play. So let's see what happens here. We're trying to see on the replay who might have blocked that extra point, because that could be huge as this game goes on. A lot of discussion from the officials right now. Let's see who got in there to block that. Personal foul is against Longview. That's not good. Okay, so somebody tried to jump up over the line, it looks like, or jump up on a player to try to block it, so that kick was illegal. So now, are they going to send the offense back out there and try to go for 2?
Looks like that's what they're going to do.
I think that's happening. Boy, that's a huge mistake by the Lobos to give them a second crack at this, because the ball now is at the 1.5-yard line, and the offense is back on the field to try for 2 points. Wing right, handoff, Fontenot up the middle, in. 2-point score. Crosby converts the 2-point try, and it's 15-7. Crosby on top with 4:48 to play in the first quarter. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Do you know any experienced health professionals? If so, the team at Christus Good Shepherd would love to meet them. Call us today at 833-315-GOOD and you could receive $1,500 for the referral. We need associates in surgery, lab, imaging, nursing, respiratory, and therapy. At Christus, we value what each individual brings to our mission and aim to create a culture where quality of work and quality of life live harmoniously. It's a win-win. Call today, 833-315-4663.
Crosby gets an onside kick. They have a short field, 35 yards. Braden Womack goes in from 34 out for the touchdown. And then after a penalty, Crosby's able to go for 2, and Fontenot takes it in. And Crosby leads 15-7 with 4:48 to go in the first quarter. And Udy's back out to kick off again. And again, they use another onside kick, but this time there's a flag. The ball comes loose again. Crosby is going to get it again unless that flag goes in Longview's favor.
I think it will go in Longview's favor because they blocked, I think, before they...
Wow.
We'll see.
2 straight onside kicks. This one goes to the right side. The previous one was kicked to the left. Again, perfectly executed. It was like watching a golfer hit a chip shot. And then that ball got away from the Lobos. And now let's see what the penalty is. Offsides. That's against Crosby, so that's going to kill that. They'll kick it again. I'm feeling Lancaster here all over again.
It reminds me of the same exact thing.
A really fast, up-tempo team, and they are obviously willing to try anything. They're going to do whatever they got to do, and they've gambled 3 or 4 times in this ball game already. 2 consecutive onside kicks. They go for 2 on the touchdown. They are definitely coming here to play.
Yeah.
So now the ball's going to be spotted at the 35-yard line of Crosby. And Cade Udy's going to kick it off again. And we've already seen he's a master of the onside kick.
No kidding.
So from here on out, I'm guessing there's going to be a hands team on the kickoff return for the Lobos.
They're all playing up close, too.
And this time he sky kicks it. It's high. It's going to be taken at the 36 to the 40, 45 to the 49-yard line where he's brought down right there. Lobos that time with a field and a good return and a 1st and 10 for the Lobos. All right, let's settle this thing down. Lobos start at their own 49-yard line.
They really need to answer that last score. It's decent field position to start.
And on 1st and 10, double wing. And they'll hand it off. Up the middle, Elijah Johnson, 40, 30, goes down. Oh, he didn't quite make it to the 30. He got to the 32. And that was a big run by Elijah Johnson. 19 yards and a first down.
Yeah, Elijah Johnson is quite a second weapon, and he's got 2 carries now for 21 yards.
1st and 10, Longview at the Crosby 32 with 4:16 to go here in the first quarter. Crosby leads at 15-7. Hale goes to the left. Now he's going to shift back over to the right side. He's in tight, and they're in the I formation. Allen, play action, looks, fires right side. Elijah Johnson catches it at the 25, fights to get to the 20 to the 19-yard line, where he's going to be run out of bounds by number 6, Carson Larkin. And another first down for the Lobos.
What they did that time is they actually ran Jalen Hale deep and then dropped Johnson out into the flat. So he was wide open as all the attention was being put on Jalen Hale.
3:39 to go first quarter. 15-7. Crosby on top of the Lobos. Lobos have the ball at the Crosby 20-yard line. Trying to match scores. Now they'll send Reese and Hale wide left. Again, they're in the I. And they'll hand it off to Elijah Johnson again up the middle. Johnson fights for the tough yardage. Gets to about the 15, maybe the 14-yard line.
Johnson only
where they'll spot him at the 15. So 5-yard gain and 2nd down and 5.
Aiden Jones on the stop.
3:01 to play in the first quarter. It's been wild.
Man, we've seen everything already.
Hale will go wide left. Again, the Lobos in the I formation. Hale comes in motion and then sets up on the left hash. They'll run a stretch play to Taylor Tatum to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Longview.
That's what Taylor Tatum does best. Kicks it out, turns the corner, and outruns into the end zone.
15-yard touchdown run. It caps a 51-yard drive. Now what do? Do you go for 2 or just kick the extra point?
No, I think I'd kick the extra point.
Not going to chase that all night, huh?
No.
They're sending Michael Fields on to try the extra point. Crosby on their last touchdown converted a 2-point try to make it 15-7. Lobos willing to just go ahead and kick the extra point here. And it is up and good. And the score now, Crosby 15, Longview 14, with 2:37 to go in the first quarter. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. Sleek and sporty or bold and spacious, we have the SUV you're looking for to fit you and your lifestyle. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery, or come see us to reserve the SUV you need with the options you want. Peters Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Tonight's ball game brought to you, of course, by a number of great sponsors. Flood Out, Bug Police, First Choice Personnel, National Wholesale Supply, McDaniel's Quality Body Works, Telco Plus Credit Union, Longview Orthopedics, Bish RV, Christus Medical Center, Soapy's Car Wash, East Texas Professional Credit Union, and GZ's Asian Bistro. Lobos cut it to 1, 15-14 on Taylor Tatum's 15-yard touchdown run. Fields will now kick it off from our left to our right. And it's going to be going out of bounds at the 9-yard line, so Crosby's going to have it with good field position with 2:37 to play in the first quarter, a wild first quarter in this bi-district playoff game at Lobo Stadium.
Kicked out of bounds by the kicking team. Crosby is elected to take the ball 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Crosby takes it at the 30. And they have been explosive on offense and aggressive when it comes to the kicking game with onside kicks. They're just pulling all kinds of tricks out of the bag right now.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that they're not afraid of losing and playing conservative. They're going to lay it out there and see what happens.
2 wideouts to the right, a swing to the right. They'll swing it out to the running back coming out of the backfield, and he's going to be dropped for a loss on the play. The back was number 2, Luke Smith, and the Longview defense smothered him out there, and it looks like Smith got to him. Boone also in on the tackle. It's 2nd down and 13 back at the 28-yard line. 2 wide to the left now, a jet sweep motion going right. Miles back to throw. Hit as he throws, goes down. Ball came out. Are they going to call it a fumble? No, they say incomplete pass. But coming up with the football, Omarion Watkins batted that pass down. Pressure in his face. Miles had to pull him down. He never did really throw it, but it did come out. And I don't know where they got incomplete pass, Johnny, because he never threw the ball.
Yep, he never threw it. You're exactly right. Let's see.
He got a low snap. He dropped back. And he did not. He tucked the ball and went down. That ball came out. That should have been a fumble. Not a good call. 3rd down and 12. Lobo defense swarming. I tell you, Crosby, it's amazing Crosby scored a couple of touchdowns the way Longview's gotten after it here in the first quarter.
Yeah, the defense is on their top of their game.
Flag on the play. Illegal procedure. Is that what we got?
Let's see.
Maybe.
Yep,
maybe
that's what's going to be.
We had movement.
5-yard penalty. remains third down.
They got Jake Brown for moving before the snap. Crosby now with the ball back at their own 23-yard line. 2 wideouts to the left, 2 to the right. Running back lined up on the right side of Miles, the quarterback who fumbles the ball, picks it back up. Now he's going to take off, rolling to his right, gets to the corner, a flag goes down. He runs out of bounds at around the 30-yard line. Let's see if that's a hold or a block in the back.
It almost has to be where it's thrown. Yeah, there's a hold.
Miles run out of bounds. Rusley forced him out, and that flag is going to go against Crosby.
Now, they were holding Rusley, too.
It is holding.
60. The foul is declined. Fourth down.
John King elects to decline that penalty and take the 4th down and make Crosby punt it. Man, this thing is delivering already, isn't it?
I'm telling you. This is a great opportunity for Longview. He's got a punt into the wind, which is difficult to do.
Udy is in there as the punter. He's back at his own 10-yard line. Willie Nelson is on the Longview 45. Low snap. He's going to throw it. Deep ball, right side. Oh, he caught it, but did he catch it out of bounds? And then he gets hit on the sidelines, and they're going to call it unnecessary roughness on Longview. That's a terrible call. Udy threw a deep ball to the wide open receiver on the sidelines, and he got hit at the side. The ball was incomplete, but I don't know what you're supposed to do as a defensive back.
I don't know. That's truly a horrible call if that's what they're going to call.
Trying to make it out. Is that Willie Nelson that gets called for that? Yep. Willie hit him. He was already on the line, out of bounds. The ball was incomplete. Nelson hit him. They threw the flag. Now they're discussing whether it's legit or not. I guess they're going to decide whether they need to pick it up or if it's going to be a 15-yard penalty and another 1st down for Crosby. But the Lobo defense is frustrated right now. They made a play, and now you got a conference here. Prieto out there on the field asking about it too, wanting to know what's going on.
That's just an awful call.
Now they're debating it. Four officials back at the 30-yard line over on the right hash, closest to the Crosby bench. Prieto out on the field with the numbers, trying to hear what they're saying, and they still don't really know what they're going to call yet. Willie Nelson hit the receiver on the fake punt as the ball was being thrown down the sidelines. It turned out to be incomplete. Nelson hit him right there on the sidelines. Personal foul. They're calling it against Willie Nelson. 15 yards. It's going to be a 1st down against the Lobos.
That's an awful call.
Awful or not, it gives Crosby a 1st down in Lobo territory. John King's out on the field. He's giving them what for? And now they're walking it back. Now what's the deal? Is it going to be 15 yards from the 1st down marker? Or?
I think that's what it's going to be.
Now, I will say this.
Lobo fans, if you are...
I was going to say, was it after the play? He's out of bounds, so is it after the play? If it is, Lobos ought to have the football 1st down, even if they get a 15-yard penalty, I guess. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but
there's a lot of confusion out there.
As mad as John King is, I'm pretty sure we're not going to end up with the ball.
But I don't understand why they've moved the ball back for Crosby to the 40-yard line. They're back at the Crosby 40-yard line. They called an unnecessary roughness penalty against Willie Nelson down at the Longview 40-yard line. So if nothing else, they're not even walking off penalty yardage, I don't think.
This is the total confusion. We'll have to ask him after the game what this was.
So 1st and 10 for Crosby at their own 40. Pressure coming. Sacked. Miles goes down. And getting up, dancing is Omarion Watkins. There's no pass protection for Miles.
No, they're all over him.
That's why they've got to get it out of their hands so quickly, because if he goes back there and it takes him more than 2 seconds to get it out of his hands, he's going down. Ball spotted all the way back at the 34-yard line. Crosby and the handoff to Luke Fontenot, and again, no running room whatsoever. Caden Brooks met him in the hole and dropped him for another loss.
Levi Fontenot on the carry. Caden Brooks.
Wow.
Defense front continues to play great.
So now it's 3rd down and 17 from the 33-yard line. Crosby's ball. Back to throw. Miles looks, nobody open, forces it over the middle, does get a catch. Flag goes down from the sidelines. And we'll see what that penalty is. You'd guess that's against Crosby.
And if it is, Longview will decline.
So once again, even though the call against Willie Nelson was extremely shaky, ineligible man downfield against Crosby. So that's declined, and again, John King says we want the ball, punt it. So the penalty didn't hurt Longview. The Lobo defense stepped up and made them go backwards. On 4th down and 17, Crosby at their own 33. The punter is lined up at the 18-yard line. Willie Nelson is on the Longview 40 waiting for the kick. Pressure coming. Oh, he got hit as he goes down. He flopped, and there's no flag. And then the ball bounces at the 40-yard line and will die at the 35. That's about a 33-yard kick. Udy tried to coax a flag out of it as he got nudged after the ball left his foot, but the official wasn't having any of that. So with 22.7 seconds to go in the first quarter, Crosby 15, Longview 14. And the Lobos start at their own 35-yard line.
They're fixing to lose the wind at their backs. And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go deep to Hale right now.
Play action. Allen. He's airing it out. Deep ball. Overthrown. Hale lost it. He couldn't find it. He was open. He beat 2 men downfield and just lost sight of the ball. Incomplete. 15 seconds to go first quarter. There was a shot and a chance. He just, I think, lost the ball in the lights.
I think what might have happened is he was going to start to run the post, and then he stayed outside, and the pass was thrown over his right shoulder, and he just couldn't get everything turned around.
Well, they were obviously off the same page there. 2nd down and 10 from the I formation now, Longview. Toss sweep right side. Taylor Tatum looking for a block, tries to get to the edge. 35, 40, out of bounds.
Where's the flag on that?
No flag. He was hit out of bounds. And there's John King is losing his mind right now on that sidelines. He's letting that official know about it. Same play, no flag for the Lobos.
It's just
John King's head just exploded.
And that's just incredible. No kidding. I mean,
he is hot. That's the most animated I've seen John King all year.
Yeah, I agree.
I thought he was going to leave the ground. His arms were moving around so much. Lobos 3rd down and 4. This should be the last play of the first quarter. They have it at their own 41-yard line. Blitz from the outside. Handoff up the middle. I believe that's Tatum. And Tatum is going to be short of the first down. They'll mark him down at the 44, and that is the end of the first quarter. A wild one at Lobo Stadium. Crosby 15, Longview 14. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Stuffing more people in your house this holiday? You'll be thankful for the fastest internet. Get Cable Link's broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data together for under $25 per month. All your wireless devices connect best with Cable Link's broadband, especially when you have friends and family come over with all their devices. Plus, we make it easy to switch. There's no credit check, no money up front, and no deposit. This holiday, gather family and friends for pie and Wi-Fi. Download Family family games at cablelinks.com/thankful. That's cablelinks.com/thankful. And get CableLinks broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data under $25 per month. Order CableLinks today at 800-903-0508. That's 800-903-0508. Or email support at cablelinks.com. Or click to chat through cablelinks.com. Offers expire without notice and many factors affect speed. Other restrictions may apply.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
Buckle up. It's the second quarter. It's 15-14. Crosby leading Longview in by-district action. Lobos have it 4th and 1 at their own 44, and they're going to go for it. Allen with the quarterback sneak. Did the ball come out? If the ball came out, they didn't get the first down. Crosby thinks they got the ball, and it looks like the Lobos did not make it because it looked like the snap exchange was fumbled. Now let's see what the officials say.
The ball goes over the fourth down fumble rule. The quarterback fumble did not recover it. The player that did recover was short of the line of the game.
So there was a fumble between the quarterback and the center for Longview, and it came up short by a half yard. So again, Crosby, with 11:54 to go in the first half, leading 15-14. They'll start at the Longview 44-yard line. Back to throw, ball gets away from Miles. He has to fall on it back at his 45-yard line. There's a break for the Lobos.
Yeah, really. It wasn't that bad of a snap. He just missed it and rolls backwards. Longview gets a break.
Loss of 10 on the play. So every time Crosby gets a break like that, they find some way to shoot themselves in the foot, yet they still lead 15-14. Second down now. Back to throw. Pressure in his face. Miles has to throw it in the dirt. I'm telling you, the front for the Longview Lobos is wearing out the offensive line. Ethan Pulte this time was in Miles' face.
All over him. Just didn't really. He was there about the same time the ball that was snapped back was there.
Third down. 3rd and 20. Crosby sends a man in motion to the near side. They have 3 wide to the right now. Miles checks the sidelines. He shifts his running back over to the left. From the gun, back to throw, gets it out fast, incomplete. And the receiver wanted a flag. He's not going to get it. Udy was the intended receiver there on the left hash. And it's 4th down. So again, the Lobo defense, with all the insanity that's going on, they find a way to make plays and get off the field.
It's the craziest first half I've seen in a long time.
We hadn't seen one like this all year, I know that. 4th down and 20 for the Crosby Cougars at their own 46-yard line. Udy will come out to punt it. Willie Nelson drops back to his 15-yard line to receive. Punt going from our left to our right. Udy kicks a low kick. Line drive, bounces at the 20, and then goes out of bounds at the 15-yard line. A 40-yard punt. And the Lobos will take over 1st and 10. Our Longview Orthopedics Athletes of the Week, Anna Iskey from White Oak High School, stars in volleyball, cheer, basketball, and track. Mason Hughes from Joaquin High School, stars in football. Our Longview Orthopedic Student Athletes of the Week. $11:09 to play in the first half. Lobos start at their own 15. From the gun, they'll hand it off. Coming right, Elijah Johnson. Johnson across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. It's going to be a gain of about 8 on the play. Elijah Johnson really hitting that hole fast tonight.
Yeah, he's got 4 carries for 34 yards.
On the tackle.
Tatum checks back into the game. And it's 2nd down and 3 from the Longview 22-yard line. I formation, they send 2 wide receivers to the right. Hand off again to the fullback, up the middle. Johnson this time runs into a wall. And he'll get thrown back. Talon Jenkins filled that hole. Check that Isaiah Martin. They've got 2 70s on the roster. They've dressed out. It looks like they're JV out there, so you might have multiple numbers. Isaiah Martin's the senior, and he's the guy that made the play. 3rd down and 2 from the 24-yard line. Lobos trail by 1. This time a tight formation, I formation. Allen under center. Handoff up the middle. And it looks like he got just enough for the first down. That's Taylor Tatum who picked up the first. 9:45 to play in the first half. Crosby 15, Longview 14. By-district playoff game at Lobo Stadium. And it's been wilder than the score even sounds. Tatum comes off the field again. He's coming in and out a lot. Hale goes wide right. Wing right. They're in the gun. They're on the left hash mark. Crosby showing blitz from the edge. They'll hand it off up the middle. Still dancing around trying to find running room to the 39-yard line. Elijah Johnson picks up the first down for the Lobos.
That was a beautiful run. He made 3 or 4 moves and just left people in their tracks and ends up with a nice gain and the first down for Longview.
Matthew Jordan on the stop for the Cougars.
Johnny, I'm wondering if something's wrong with Taylor Tatum. Elijah Johnson's gotten the bulk of the running tonight. Tatum's back in the ball game now. He's going to go out into the slot. But Elijah Johnson's been the featured back most of this game.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to watch and see.
They'll sweep right. Jordan Allen's going to keep it. He'll get to the 45, 50, 45, 40, and out of bounds he goes. Big first down run, 22-yard gain for Jordan Allen.
Picks up another Lobo first down.
Well, Jordan Allen doesn't run a lot, hadn't run a lot this year, but when he does, he's always picked up big yardage. I mean, he's way faster than you think he would be, and when he turns the corner, he's able to make yardage.
Heck of a run by Jordan Allen. 20-yard gain, and it's to the 39. Lobo football, 8:01 to play first half. Double wing, handoff, Elijah Johnson. Up the middle, busts through and gets to the 33-yard line. That's going to be another 7-yard gain for Elijah Johnson. Correction, they spotted him back at the 35, so they'll give him almost 5 on the play. Reese comes off. Tatum checks back in. Tatum will go into the slot to the left. Jalen Hale lined up wide to the left. And Allen will roll to his left. Looks deep into the end zone. Fires it, underthrown. Incomplete. Tatum. Crowd wants pass interference, but the ball was underthrown and uncatchable, so I don't know where the flag would come from.
Well, it was underthrown, too, because that was a long pass into a stiff wind, and he just didn't have the arm to get it there.
We did mention that the wind's blowing about 14 miles an hour out of the southeast right now, so that's right in the face of Jordan Allen, and he tried to airmail it to the end zone, and it fell a good 5 yards short of where Tatum was at the goal line. 3rd down and 6 from the 35 of Crosby. Lobos football in motion. Jet sweep, handoff. Jalen Hale to the 25, 20, and out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 21. It's a 14-yard gain. First down, Longview. 6:59 to go in the first half. Still,
they've done that a few times this year, and every time they do, Jalen Hales makes yardage out of it, and that was a nice run.
Lobo's showing a lot of stuff we have not seen a lot of, particularly Tatum in the slot most of the time instead of being the featured running back.
Yeah, I mean, the only time this year that we've seen that.
They'll come out in the eye this time, though, and Tatum is at tailback. 1st and 10 from the Crosby 21-yard line. Handoff. Tatum, big hole, 10, 5, touchdown, Longview.
Well, that's his 3rd.
Wow.
Tatum makes it in for a Lobo touchdown.
21 yards. Lobos go back up on top. Offensive line just blew the Crosby defense right off the ball.
That's 7 plays, 85 yards, and it's right into the wind. So it's an impressive drive for Longview.
Fields comes on for the extra point. The kick is up, and it's good, and the Lobos back on top. Longview 21, Crosby 15, 6:52 to go, first half. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Attention all bug police units. Attention all bug police units. We have a 1014 home invasion in progress. Remember to use caution. These delinquents will use any and every means necessary to break into the home. And once inside, they will illegally set up headquarters. Their lawless and destructive ways cannot be permitted to continue.
Don't let pests take over your home. Shut the operation down today. Call the bug police to patrol your property at 553-9003. Online at thebugpolice.com. They shoot to kill and aim to please.
Second quarter of this ball game brought to you by Longview Kilgore Cable TV, the first to offer gig speeds to all the Longview area. Find them at cablelinks.com/getgig now. 85-yard drive. Jordan Allen with a big 20-yard run for a first down, and then Taylor Tatum scores from 21 yards out. And the Lobos are back on top, 21-15, with 6:52 to go in the first half.
And remember, that was into this strong wind, which is difficult to do.
We saw that wind and the effect it had on a deep ball Allen tried to throw to Tatum in the end zone.
Yep.
Fields kicks it off. It's a high, short kick taken at the 20. And he'll bring it out, and great coverage downfield, and he's thrown down at the 20-yard line. He never had a chance, and that tackle made by number 25, Jameis Morrow, and Reese in there as well. Great kickoff coverage downfield. That was Brendan Reese that made the first contact on it. And so Crosby will take over now, trailing for the first time in a while, with 6:45 to go in the first half. They'll start at their own 20-yard line. Wing right, handoff, left side, blown up in the hole again. Fontenot with nowhere to go, hit in the hole by, it looks like Caden Brooks. That's who it is.
Caden Brooks made the hit, but Longview had at least 2 other people in the backfield, so they're having really a hard time blocking our front 4.
They gave him a 2-yard gain, and again they'll run that misdirection, and this time the flag went down, and it's an illegal procedure call against Crosby. They have the running back lined up on the right.
On the offense, number 60.
They'll make a motion like they're going to run it right and then hand it off on a counter to the left side, and it hasn't fooled Longview at all. So that'll back the ball up to about the 17. 6:14 to go in the first half. At halftime, you'll get a preview of the Friday night scoreboard show with Harlan the Sports Guy and Pigskin Bob. Snap gets off of Miles. He has to fall on it. It was snapped and hit him in the chest, and the ball was loose, and he had to just fall back on it, back at the 14-yard line.
Big loss on the play.
So they're going to set up a 3rd down and 15 back on the 14-yard line for Crosby. It's going to take some explaining to help people to understand why this thing is 21-15, because Longview's defense has just dominated. Miles back to throw, escapes, runs up the middle, tackled at the 20-yard line. Longview defense all over. Jordan Wright this time takes him down. Kyron Miles has had a rough night at quarterback.
Jordan Wright with the sack.
Punt team comes on. Cade Udy. Line of scrimmage will be the 20. We're seeing some fog rolling in, Johnny. I've had some experience with playoff games in the fog. Udy back at his own 5. We'll talk about that later. Low kick. Bounces at midfield, then takes a big Crosby roll, and it'll die at the 38-yard line. And that is going to be a kick of 43 yards.
Had the wind at his back. It was a low kick, and it hit and rolled a long way. So Longview with not very good field position. Flipped the field on us here.
2 years ago, the last playoff game I did was a broadcast with White House at Montgomery in the first round of the playoffs, and the fog rolled in at halftime, and it was so thick you could not see the sideline across the field. It was unreal. It was like the fog game you saw the Eagles play in the playoffs against the Bears about 30 years ago.
Makes for a tough broadcast.
Oh, my gosh. I'm blind as it is. I didn't need help. 37-yard line. Lobos hand it off to the right side. Short, no gain on the play, really. Tatum. Not much running room there. 2nd down and 9. But I've never seen fog so thick that you literally could not see past about the center of the field to the far sideline. And that's how thick it was. And so now we've got fog rolling in here after a rainy day, cold day. This thing's starting to feel like Halloween. From the 38-yard line, Lobos, long snap count, sets up the screen to the right side, down the sidelines, 45, 50, 45-yard line. That's to Kalen Reese. And a first down for the Lobos.
Screen pass to Jamerson Derensburg.
I'm sorry, Derensburg. No, that is Reese. That is Reese. Correction. Nope, I stop. Jamerson Derensburg made the catch. Quit screwing it up, Houston. To the 45-yard line, a 17-yard gain, 1st and 10. Lobos football, 3:22 to go, first half. Hale in motion, sets up in the left slot, handoff. Tatum breaks it outside, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Longview.
He's a difference maker. That's his 4th of the night.
45-yard touchdown run.
Taylor Tatum takes it in for a Lobo touchdown.
What a run by Taylor Tatum. He is a special back. 3:08 to go in the first half. Lobos go up 2 scores. And Fields comes on for the extra point.
What a safety blanket.
My goodness. Kick is up. Kick is good. Longview 28. Crosby 15 with 3:08 to go in the first half. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar, the perfect venue for your office holiday party. David and his staff will make it a fantastic event with great food and an inviting atmosphere. It's time to book your company party at GZ's. How about an office lunch or cocktail party with fresh sushi and Asian delicacies along with cheese and fruit trays? The holidays get even merrier by taking your employees or family to GZ's Asian Bistro. Reserve your holiday party. Call 247-8000. That's 247-8000. Gift certificates available. GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar in the Village on Judson Road in Longview.
Crosby has made this a game, Johnny, because of all the gambles they've taken. In the kicking game, they had a couple of onside kicks. They tried a fake punt. They've pulled out all the stops, but the main thing that the Longview Lobos keep doing, they keep coming back to that running game.
Yeah, and we thought that it was going to be this way, that they were going to be able to run against them, and they have tonight. Elijah Johnson has got 52 yards rushing. Tatum's got 98 yards rushing, and he's got 4 scores. So it's the running game tonight that's moving the offense.
Short kickoff by Fields taken at the 28-yard line, and again the coverage is fantastic downfield, and no chance. Willie Nelson right on top of the return man Luke Smith. And so Crosby now trailing 28-15, 3:07 to play in the first half. And they're going to start at their own 28-yard line, and the fog's getting heavier. Misting rain it may be. You see, I see a lot of umbrellas, so it's not necessarily fog. Handoff up the middle. Fontenot again runs into a wall. There is no chance. Watkins all over him. Billy Smith in there as well.
They just can't move the front four. You know, that's put a big burden on their offense.
Longview dominant on both lines of scrimmage. 2nd down and 10. After no gain on the play, it's the ball's at the 28-yard line of Crosby. They've got 2 wide receivers to the right, 2 backs. They'll sweep it left. Fontenot trying to fight for some yardage. Lobos coming up with it. Ball came out. And let's see who came up with it. Looked like a scramble. It's Crosby's ball. But it looked like the ball may have come out. Billy Smith in there again. Boone in on the tackle. He pulled the ball out. And that ball did come out, and they tried to scramble to get it, and somehow Crosby got it back. Got 8 yards on the play out to the 37-yard line. So, it's raining now. And we expected another wave of rain before the front finally moved through. At 1:48 to go here in the first half. Handoff up the middle, and again, no running room for Fontenot whatsoever. He is taken down by Zarius Shepard.
Let's see what they put the spot, though. They gave him.
They did get the first.
Shepard and Brooks.
That was a hard yard.
No kidding. It was. It didn't look like a yard from here either.
From the 39, Crosby with the 1st and 10. Miles back to throw. Deep ball. Found a man in the crease. Complete to Braden Womack on the left sidelines. Out of bounds at the 39-yard line. A 22-yard catch.
Yeah, that's a big play for them.
1st and 10, Crosby right up to the line of scrimmage. And Miles rolls to his left. Looks downfield, left sidelines, throws it out of bounds. When Miles has time, he's dangerous as a passer, but he hasn't had time much tonight. And you notice they're rolling the pocket now and trying to find some ways to give him a little bit of time.
Yeah, they know they can't block the front four, so they're trying to change their offense a little bit to adapt to Longview's pressure up the middle.
There's a handoff on a delay. It's up the middle to the 30. And that's Fontenot. Kind of a delayed draw. And it's going to be real close to a first down. They got a yard shy of it at the 30-yard line. They'll hand it off. Fontenot gets hit in the hole, and then he pushes forward and gets the first down for Crosby.
Fontenot on the carry.
First down with 48 seconds to go. Longview wants to keep these guys out of the end zone. They call a timeout here. And John King wants to talk to that defense. John Berry wants to have a chat. Longview's defense has done such a good job, but every once in a while, because they've got some explosive players, Crosby's able to bust something. And it would be a big momentum shift for Crosby if they're able to score right here before halftime.
This is a big, huge opportunity for them because, they're down. They've given up a couple of touchdowns in the last 2 possessions, 28-15. They've got 48 seconds. The wind's at their back. And, it's crucial for them to score here, and Longview's got to know that, and that's got to be what John King is talking to him about right now.
You got to get out of this without giving up more than 3. Crosby after the timeout will take over. 1st and 10 at the Longview 26-yard line. Double wides to both sides. Miles back to throw. Pressure. Hit again. Back at the 35-yard line. He is swallowed up. Pulte back there. Rugeley back there.
Well, the defense is just stepping up right here, and that was a big play, and there's actually 3 guys on top of him when it finally stopped.
Crosby takes its second timeout. Let's take a 30-second timeout with him. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Whoa,
This time out brought to you by First Choice Personnel. For all your hiring needs, more Lobo football coming up.
And for the win, name something that is hard to find.
Your keys, 4-leaf clover, needle in a haystack, true love.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is a job. Better luck next time.
Don't trust luck. Trust First Choice Personnel. For years, First Choice has been delivering hard-to-find talent, even in highly competitive sectors. First Choice Personnel will be the only choice you need. FirstChoicePersonnel.net.
2nd and 18 for Crosby at the 34 of Longview. They set up a screen, and he's hit back in the backfield to the 30-yard line. There wasn't a chance in the world for that screen to work. Miles went back to throw, had pressure in his face, and it was Chase Smith who came up to hit the receiver on the screen. Loss on the play back to the 30. Back to throw Miles over the middle. Almost made a circus catch at the 1. It's overthrown, incomplete. Braden Womack almost made a one-handed grab at the 1. Incomplete.
Intended for Womack.
He ran the post play, and Longview had 4 defensive players right around him, and the ball was right in the middle, and he tried to jump up and grab it with one hand, couldn't pull it in.
Here's a big play. It's 4th down and 14. Ball on the Longview 30, and Longview wants to call timeout with 13.8 seconds. They know this is a huge play. You don't want Crosby to score here right before halftime.
No.
And keep in mind, Longview will get the ball to start the second half. One of the decisions you questioned early on was Crosby's decision to take the opening kickoff. They went 3 and out, gave Longview a very short field. Longview was able to go in and score, and that was one of the things that has given Longview this edge.
Yeah. Now, I'll say this about Crosby. They've actually had some spots here where they had a chance to make completions, and for whatever reason, like the last one, it was just a little bit overthrown. So, I mean, they've got some people that can run. The quarterback's a good one. This is important. You don't want to give them a touchdown with 13 seconds to go in the half.
You know, what's frustrating about Crosby is Longview's played great defense. Longview can stop them 9 plays, but on that 10th play, Crosby's got explosive players. Yep. They can convert on a big play and stay in the ball game. It's 4th down now. Here they come after the timeout. 3 wides to the right. Send a man in motion to the left side. Miles back to throw. Looking, pressure coming. Goes down again. Man. Sack. That Longview defensive line is just burying Miles. And Jeremiah Rusley leading the way. But that whole pocket collapsed. Caden Brooks in on it. Huge sack with 8 seconds to go in the first half. Lobo defense stands up strong again.
Yeah, they just played an unbelievable last 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, this is what you're getting every week, and it's just amazing.
So the Lobos will come out 1st and 10 with 8 seconds to go. You'd expect they're just going to take a knee. That's what they do, and they're going to go into the locker room at halftime in a wild football game, the one that the Lobos have taken control of here in the second quarter, thanks to some great defense and Taylor Tatum with a huge first half. It is 28-15, Longview leading Crosby at halftime. We're going to take a timeout. We'll come back and recap the scoring for you. And then shortly thereafter, we'll be listening to Harlan the Sports Guy and Pigskin Bob with the Friday night scoreboard preview on 105.7 KYKX. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Longview Lobo High School football.
Brought to you by Peters Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Buick, and Longview.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. The Ram truck lineup at Peters Ram is designed to go further and experience more. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery. Or come see us to reserve the Ram truck that's right for you with the options you want. Peters Ram in Longview.
Soapy's Car Wash, a longtime sponsor of Longview Lobo football. Now with their third location in Lakeport, plus the original on Highway 80 and their self-serve location on Wall Street in Longview. For savings and convenience, get a monthly pass good at the Highway 80 location or in Lakeport.
Soapy's is a place to be.
Once again, Soapy's Car Wash is proud to support Longview Lobo football. Go Lobos!
Unit 1, move out. Roger. Unit 2, move out.
10-4.
Unit 3, move out.
Got it.
Remember, men, your mission is to find every nook and cranny the enemy can use to infiltrate this premises. Then it will be your duty to neutralize the invaders with extreme prejudice.
Copy that.
Roger.
Moving out. Don't let the pest take over your home. Shut down the operation today. Call the Bug Police to patrol your property at 553-9003 or visit them online at thebugpolice.com. The Bug Police. They shoot to kill and aim to please.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
And for the win, name something that is hard to find.
Your keys, 4-leaf clover, needle in a haystack, true love.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is a job. Better luck next time.
Don't trust luck. Trust First Choice Personnel. For years, First Choice has been delivering hard-to-find talent, even in highly competitive sectors. First Choice Personnel will be the only choice you need. FirstChoicePersonnel.net.
Bitches RV is a bit new around here, so we have questions. What exactly is bigger in Texas? Is it really everything, or is it just high school football? We can't wait to see for ourselves every Friday night with our Longview Lobos family. Bitches is built on family, and fun, and lifelong memories. Sounds like football in Texas, right? So we got your back every pregame, tailgate, postgame, after party, and everything in between. Go Lobos! Bitches RV, where memories begin.
Go all the way back to the beginning when God created football. Football!
Let's go! Welcome to the Eastman Credit Union Halftime Show, presented by 106.5 Jack FM.
It's a cold, rainy halftime at Lobo Stadium, but the fans are feeling pretty good right now as Longview has a 28-15 lead over Crosby in the bi-district round here in the first half. Recapping the scoring, Crosby elected to, when they won the opening coin toss, elected to receive the ball, went 3 and out, gave Longview the ball at the Crosby 32-yard line. Longview with that short field, Taylor Tatum went in from 19 yards out, made it 7-0. Longview on top with 8:19 to go in the first quarter. Then Crosby answered, though, with a deep ball to Ard that set up a Levi Fontenot 5-yard touchdown run. With 5:40 to go in the first quarter, it was 7-7. And then Longview was stopped. Cash Glover was able to recover an onside kick. Crosby took over at the Longview 35-yard line. Braden Womack ran it in from 34 yards out. They went for a 2-point conversion. Fontenot was able to take it in. Crosby led 15-7 at the end of the first quarter. Moving to the second quarter, Longview started to take control. They drove it 51 yards. Taylor Tatum with a 15-yard touchdown run. That made it 15-14. Longview was not going to try to chase the 2-point try. They just kicked the extra point. They trailed by 1. And then later, actually, they're still in the first quarter. That was 2:37 to go in the first quarter. And that's where we were, 15-14 after 1 quarter of play. In the second quarter, things began to settle down just a little bit. Longview able to take it on an 85-yard drive. Jordan Allen with a 20-yard run, set up a 21-yard touchdown run by Taylor Tatum. That made it to 21-15, Longview on top again for the first time in a while with 6:52 to go in the half. Later, Longview again with a long drive. Taylor Tatum, 45-yard touchdown run with 3:08 to go in the half. Made it 28-15. And then Longview's defense did a great job at the end of the half holding the Crosby Cougars out of the end zone when they were down deep in Longview territory. Big defensive series where the defensive line was just wearing out the offensive line of Crosby, sacking Miles on 4th down, and we're at halftime with Longview leading it by a score 28-15. Johnny?
Yeah, I think this first half, I think partially because of the rain and partially because of the wind, but more importantly, I think they decided before this game ever started, we're going to go to what we do best, and that's run the football and see if they can stop us. All those other things have factored in, but that's what they've done, and they've just turned loose Taylor Tatum and Elijah Johnson. 4 touchdowns by Tatum, and Johnson's made 7 carries for 52 yards, and that's the defensively. They have not been able to control us since we stayed on the ground. We've only thrown 5 passes, completed 2, and probably if you went down there and asked John King, that's like he'd like to do that every game.
Absolutely.
It's just run the ball.
Well, they've dominated on both lines of scrimmage tonight, and like I said, just because Crosby's just explosive enough that you can hold them for 9 plays, but they can hit a 10th one and hit something big on you, and that's the only way they've stayed in this ball game.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't count them out now because they've got some players. The quarterback is good. They've had some opportunities, but where they're really falling short is their offensive line has not been able to block our defensive line and linebackers, and when you can't do that, it probably breaks down your whole offense. So, I mean, I think it's a really good first half for Longview on both sides of the ball.
No doubt. All right, we're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll turn it over to Harlan, the sports guy, and Pigskin Bob to preview the Friday night scoreboard show on 105.7 KYKX. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
East Texas. It's simpler life that we all enjoy and one we call home. We've been serving our neighbors for over 60 years. From the very beginning, through the college years, and when they return to begin their lives. We're more than a bank, established in Texas for Texans. We're East Texas Professional Credit Union, and we're here for you. Welcome home.
Dan Story has been named to the top 10 nursing home lawyers in the state of Texas. Many East Texans have questions about the care of their loved ones in a nursing home. They just don't know who to ask. If you suspect your loved one has been abused in a nursing home, unexplained falls and bruises, malnutrition and bed sores, call for a free consultation. 903-CALL-DAN. As a community, it's important to look out and protect our elderly population. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN.
GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar, the perfect venue for your office holiday party. David and his staff will make it a fantastic event with great food and an inviting atmosphere. It's time to book your company party at GZ's. How about an office lunch or cocktail party with fresh sushi and Asian delicacies along with cheese and fruit trays? The holidays get even merrier by taking your employees or family to GZ's Asian Bistro. Reserve your holiday party. Call 247-8000. That's 247-8000. Gift certificates available. GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar in the Village on Judson Road in Longview.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. The Ram truck lineup at Peters Ram is designed to go further and experience more. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery. Or come see us to reserve the Ram truck that's right for you with the options you want. Peters Ram in Longview.
Texas, does getting credit up to $150 a month to spend on everyday needs like food and over-the-counter products or to pay for utility bills sound good? Then ask about United Healthcare Dual Complete Plan. You'll keep all your Medicaid benefits and get more benefits at no cost to you. Call United Healthcare today at 1-855-UHC-MORE. That's 1-855-UHC-MORE. Benefits, features, and or devices vary by plan/area. Limitations and exclusions apply. Food, OTC, and utility benefits have expiration time frames. Call your plan or review your evidence of coverage EOC for more information.
And for the win, name something that is hard to find.
Your keys, 4-leaf clover, needle in a haystack, true love.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is a job. Better luck next time.
Don't trust luck. Trust First Choice Personnel. For years, First Choice has been delivering hard-to-find talent, even in highly competitive sectors. First Choice Personnel will be the only choice you need. FirstChoicePersonnel.net.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Soapy's Car Wash, a longtime sponsor of Longview Lobo football. Now with their third location in Lakeport, plus the original on Highway 80 and their self-serve location on Wall Street in Longview. For savings and convenience, get a monthly pass good at the Highway 80 location or in Lakeport.
Soapy's is a place to be.
Once again, Soapy's Car Wash is proud to support Longview Lobo football. Go Lobos!
Do you know any experienced health professionals? If so, the team at Christus Good Shepherd would love to meet them. Call us today at 833-315-GOOD and you could receive $1,500 for the referral. We need associates in surgery, lab, imaging, nursing, respiratory, and therapy. At Christus, we value what each individual brings to our mission and aim to create a culture where quality of work and quality of life live harmoniously. It's a win-win. Call today, 833-315-4663.
Stuffing more people in your house this holiday? You'll be thankful for the fastest internet. Get Cable Link's broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data together for under $25 per month. All your wireless devices connect best with Cable Link's broadband, especially when you have friends and family come over with all their devices. Plus, we make it easy to switch. There's no credit check, no money up front, and no deposit. This holiday, gather family and friends for pie and Wi-Fi. Download family games at cablelinks.com/thankful. That's cablelinks.com/thankful. And get Cable Links broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data under $25 per month. Order Cable Links today at 800-903-0508. That's 800-903-0508. Or email support at cablelinks.com. Or click to chat through cablelinks.com. Offers expire without notice and many factors affect speed. Other restrictions may apply.
Lobo Nation is on 106.5 Jack FM. This is the Halftime Report.
Well, good evening, Lobo Nation. Harlan, the sports guy, and Pigskin Bob on your Eastman Credit Union halftime show. It's night number 1 of the high school football playoffs. Week number 1, night number 2.
Thank you.
Lobos playing tonight against those Crosby Cougars, but there's a lot of other playoff action that we're going to be covering on 104.1 The Ranch and KYKX 105.7, the Friday night scoreboard show. Join us after this Lobo victory. We'll catch you up on all the by-district action around East Texas. Bob, some great games tonight.
We'll start it off in Marshall, Texas, as the Mavericks are hosting the Crandall Pirates this evening. And White House and Lovejoy are fighting it out in 5A football, along with Hallsville, Melissa.
I'm going to tell you right now, White House is going to upset Lovejoy. Put it down. Put it on the board.
I mean, White House is 8-2. Lovejoy 7-3.
But they got to go to their place.
True that. And that's going to make it a little tougher for them.
And that's going to make it an upset.
I'm with you on that one. I love the Bobcats this year.
Or the Wildcats.
Wildcats. I was looking at the Hallsville games. Excuse me.
We'll edit that out.
Melissa and Hallsville play as well, and that's going on in Melissa tonight.
Could be another upset. The Wildcats.
I'm with you on that. No, they're the Bobcats.
Okay.
All right. Are we good now?
We're not straight.
What about Terrell and Texas High? Do you think Terrell's going to upset Texas High tonight?
I wouldn't be surprised. Texas High kind of stumbled down the stretch.
A chink in the old armor that they've shown.
Like I just stumbled on that sentence?
I've done it every night. All right, let's move to 4A action. Sulphur Springs is taking on Dallas Carter this evening. Salina versus Nevada Community. You got Lindale and Vidor fighting it out tonight in Bryan. Kilgore and Little Cypress Mauriceville. That's going on in Lufkin tonight. Go Kilgore.
All Bulldogs.
You got Center and Liberty Ilo, 2 7-3 teams. I think it's one of the better matchups tonight.
I was going to say, I think that's the game of the night. And that's 2 teams that you've been really high on this year.
I have.
And here they're playing in the first round.
Yeah, that's going on at Hallsville's Bobcat Stadium, which is a great venue for a football game. I love the stadium there in Hallsville.
Great game.
What about Caddo Mills? They're on a roll, and they're taking on Sanger tonight in Richardson.
Kind of under everybody's radar. They didn't lose a game all year. They're in that tough region with Carthage and Gilmer. Of course, Carthage and Gilmer would play each other if they both won to the third round, and then could play the Foxes in the regional finals.
Gilmer and Rusk are fighting it out tonight at Trinity Mother Frances Rose Stadium, Earl Campbell Field, presented by TJC.
Right.
They're going to be having a big game tonight. I think Gilmer's chances are pretty dang good of winning that football game. That would be a huge upset if Rusk wins.
Yeah, they rarely lose at Rose Stadium. They rarely lose in the first round, so I like Gilmer to advance there.
In 3A action, you got a pretty good game tonight in Spring Hill. My Jefferson Bulldogs taking on the Yellow Jackets of Mineola.
Yeah, Jefferson's really on a roll right now, but Mineola can be dangerous. I do like Jefferson to advance.
Now, this next one could be the game of the night. It's Tatum and Mount Vernon.
Ooh.
8-2 Mount Vernon taking on a 6-4 Tatum, but those 4 losses not truly indicative of that Eagle program.
Yeah, a lot of them were early. New system getting installed there. They lost in overtime to Jefferson. That's a good game.
Okay, at Pirate Stadium in Longview, it's Winsboro and Atlanta, two really good teams, and I think Atlanta has a chance on upsetting Winsboro.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think you're right.
West Rusk and Paul Pewitt are fighting it out in Pittsburgh tonight. Now, I don't think West Rusk is going to lose that one. Paul Pewitt kind of backed in at 2-7 into the playoffs.
Yeah, but Paul Pewitt can be dangerous in the playoffs.
And there's something about Paul Pewitt that they'll fight anywhere.
They don't need a reason, just a place. They're going to show up. They're going to play all 4 quarters. And they've gotten dangerous in the playoffs before. Remember that.
Hooks and Troop are fighting it out tonight in Ore City, and that could be a pretty close game as well.
See, I think Hooks is one of those under-the-radar games. When they knocked off DeKalb, I think Hooks is really, really good. I think they roll tonight.
Now, tonight in Athens, you got Harmony and New Waverly battling it out. And Harmony at 5-5 is a dog in that game, but who knows?
Again, new coach. Took a little while to get the system in place. Don't be surprised.
All right, in 2A football action, you got Corrigan, Camden, and Garrison fighting it out in Henderson.
Yep.
And then your Joaquin Rams play tonight at the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville, taking on Jewett-Leon.
Yeah, Rams will roll.
Centerville at 8-2 is taking on 6-4 Shelbyville tonight. You got Honey Grove at 8-2 taking on a 6-4 Harleton Wildcat team.
Harleton's tough.
We've got Deweyville and Tenaha fighting it out tonight at Woodville's Eagle Stadium.
Yep.
Mart at 10-0 taking on a 3-7 Linden Kildare team. That's all you need to say.
That's all you need to say.
Carlisle at 10-0 is taking on Evadale tonight. You got Wortham and Clarksville, Lovelady and Overton, Maud at Dawson. Now in 6-man action, you got Union Hill playing tonight versus Gorman. Leverage Chapel is taking on Leakey. And finally, in private schools, Grace is taking on Midland Christian, TK Gorman versus Hallettsville, Sacred Heart, and Brook Hill versus Fort Worth Lake Country Christian.
A lot of high school football playoff games. We talked about some close games. Last night we had an upset. New Boston advances in the playoffs. They were a 5-5 team that won last night. There will be some upsets tonight. Bob and I are going to be covering them after this Lobo victory. So join us over on the Friday Night Scoreboard Show on Kicks in the Ranch. This is your Eastman Credit halftime show, and we'll send it back to the stadium for Brian Houston and Johnny Vaughn for second half action of the Lobos and the Cougars on your home for Longview Lobo football. 106.5 Jack FM. 6.5.
Here we go. Lobo Nation is on 106.5 Jack FM. This is the halftime report.
Looking for a credit card with a great rate, no annual fee, and 24/7 fraud monitoring? An Eastman Credit Union Visa is exactly what you need this holiday season. Plus, through December 31st, you can earn more rewards and pay less interest. Earn double points on select net purchases using an ECU Cash Rewards or Platinum Preferred card. And pay 2.49% APR on all purchases using any ECU credit card. What are you waiting for? Visit ecu.org/earn more to get started today.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to obtain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
Stuffing more people in your house this holiday? You'll be thankful for the fastest internet. Get Cable Link's broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data together for under $25 per month. All your wireless devices connect best with Cable Link's broadband, especially when you have friends and family come over with all their devices. Plus, we make it easy to switch. There's no credit check, no money up front, and no deposit. This holiday, gather family and friends for pie and Wi-Fi. Download family games at cablelinks.com/thankful. That's cablelinks.com/thankful. And get Cable Links broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data under $25 per month. Order Cable Links today at 800-903-0508. That's 800-903-0508. Or email support at cablelinks.com. Or click to chat through cablelinks.com. Offers expire without notice and many factors affect speed. Other restrictions may apply.
Bitches RV is a bit new around here, so we have questions. What exactly is bigger in Texas? Is it really everything, or is it just high school football? We can't wait to see for ourselves every Friday night with our Longview Lobos family. Bitches is built on family and fun and lifelong memories. Sounds like football in Texas, right? So we got your back every pregame, tailgate, postgame, after party, and everything in between. Go Lobos! Bitches RV, where memories begin.
GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar, the perfect venue for your office holiday party. David and his staff will make it a fantastic event with great food and an inviting atmosphere. It's time to book your company party at GZ's. How about an office lunch or cocktail party with fresh sushi and Asian delicacies along with cheese and fruit trays? The holidays get even merrier by taking your employees or family to GZ's Asian Bistro. Reserve your holiday party. Call 247-8000. That's 247-8000. Gift certificates available. GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar in the Village on Judson Road in Longview.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. Experience fun and freedom with the legendary Jeep line at Peters, built with you in mind and ready for adventure. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery. Or come see us to reserve your next new Jeep with the options you want. Peters Jeep in Longview.
Not all damage is preventable.
Oh no, the squid monster's attacking our ship! We're going down!
But it is forgivable.
There's a waterfall coming down the stairs!
And fixable.
Flood Out Restoration specializes in residential and commercial water and fire damage restoration. Our services include fast action disaster recovery from fires, water extraction, and structural drying and mold remediation. We coordinate with your insurance company to reduce stress and restore your property quickly to get you back on your feet. FloodOutRestoration.com.
Here we go. Lobo Nation is on 106.5 Jack FM. This is the halftime report.
Lobo Stadium at halftime. Longview leads at 28-15 over Crosby in the bi-district playoff game. Longview, if they hold on to win this ball game, would go on to play the winner of Frisco Lone Star and Richland. That score, Frisco Lone Star 48-7 over Richland at halftime. I think I know who we're going to play. It's a question of where we're going to play, Johnny Vaughn.
Yeah, exactly. Lone Star's got a long history of being a strong program, and they've gone deep in the playoffs. So they're going to win up there tonight. And if we win here, which it looks like we're going to.
Knock on wood.
That'll be the team we play.
The other scores at halftime, the scores from other District 7 5A Division I teams. Lancaster leads Kingwood 34-14 at the half. And Memorial is up on McKinney North 20-7 in the second quarter. First quarter score, Barbers Hill up 7-0 on Forney. Other scores from around East Texas. Marshall trailing Crandall in the second quarter 35-21. Lovejoy leads White House 17-12 in the second quarter. Melissa leads Hallsville 7-6 in the first quarter. So we've got quite a few games. Some of those games played last night. Kilgore up on Little Cypress, Mauriceville right now in the second quarter 7-6. Gilmer leads Rusk over at Rose Stadium 7-0. It is raining. It seems to be raining harder now, but nothing severe, just lots of umbrellas. It's a great night for a funeral or ducks or playoff games.
I'm not sure about the funeral part. The other two I got.
Dead person doesn't care.
Okay.
It's miserable. It is a miserable night for football, but it's miserable if you're sitting on the other end of that score. But right now for the Lobos, they have the lead, and they're going to get the ball to start the third quarter of play. Up 28-15. The story of this ball game, Crosby's tried everything. They've tried onside kicks. They've tried fake punts. They've hit some big plays. But ultimately, when it's all said and done, the Longview defense has been suffocating on 9 out of every 10 plays. And Taylor Tatum with 4 touchdowns in the first half and almost 100 yards rushing. That will play anywhere in any kind of weather.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Longview really has going for is number one, they can run the football. And so far, just about every team that they've played against, they've been able to run it. They've got 2 great backs. And in a game like this where you've got weather issues, it's raining, it's cold, the wind's blowing, they just have gone to the running game, and Crosby they just can't stop Taylor Tatum or Elijah Johnson.
Now what Cade Judy can do, we've seen, is he does a great job of onside kicks, and Crosby's going to kick from our left to our right to open this second half. But this time he's going to put a sky kick, little air under it, taken at the 22-yard line, then hit at the 25, still on his feet at the 30, 35, 40, and going out of bounds is Taylor Tatum. Again, a little bit of a shove, but no flag over there for Crosby.
That's the second time tonight that they've gotten away with one, hitting him out of bounds.
Longview will come out on offense, leading 28-14. They'll start at their own 40-yard line. Jordan Allen at quarterback, Elijah Johnson and Taylor Tatum are the running backs. Receivers Jalen Hale, the Kalen Reese. And they're out there on a wing right. They'll send Tatum on a jet sweep to the left. They'll hand it off to Elijah Johnson up the middle. And Johnson will get to the 38-yard line.
Elijah Johnson on the carry.
3-yard gain, second down and 7. Offensive line for the Lobos has been spectacular tonight. Tavian Morgan at center, the guards Jacoby Watts and Mongo Williams. The tackles Martin Guerrero and Jax Norman. Angel Ramos has played tight end along with Jamerson Derensburg. And they've done a great job up front. Hale will be the lone wide receiver out wide to the left. They'll have the I formation, 2 tight ends. Handoff up the middle, again Elijah Johnson. Again, tough running room. He gets shoved back to the 40-yard line, but he got forward progress to the 45.
Johnson on the carry.
So 2 more yards. And it looks like one of the things we thought might happen is that John King may try to come out and just lean on Crosby here in the second half. It's 3rd down and 5, though. They need to convert this first down, and Elijah Johnson is limping off the field, and that is not a good thing.
No.
And we see another player now going down right at in front of the bench, and that's number 72, Mongo Williams, offensive lineman. Now, he may be cramping.
Elijah Johnson over here is really limping pretty badly.
That would be a major blow.
Yes.
Now, we know Longview's got running backs by the dozens. Now he's jumping up and down, so he may have just kind of tweaked an ankle or something, but now he looks like he's back to normal. He shook it off. Tough kid.
You don't play fullback and not be tough.
And I'm going to tell you what, that fullback plays like a tailback. He can kind of morph into whatever they need him to be.
He's a really good player.
Williams is going to jump off. He's hurt his right ankle, it looks like, and he didn't want to put any weight on it. Hopefully he'll be able to come back in. That won't be a lingering injury. In for him will be number 67, Blair Williams. 3rd down and 5. This is a big down for the Lobos. They want to keep this drive alive, and they want to keep that clock running, and they want to put some space between themselves and Crosby. 2 wide out to the left. Split backfield from the gun. Jordan Allen rolls to his left. Flip out to the left side. Dropped by Taylor Tatum. And John King is livid.
That was an ugly play.
It was just a little short pass, maybe 2 yards, and it's like Tatum took his eyes and wanted to go up field before he had the ball caught. And so John King not happy with the 3 and out, and he was really animated on the sideline.
I think part of the thing is too that the play's not designed for them to be like 4 yards apart.
Right.
And it just broke down from the beginning.
So not a good start to the second half for the Lobos. They'll have to punt it. Fields with pressure coming, kicks it high, bounces at the 27, rolls sideways, and is killed at the 25-yard line. It's a 31-yard punt.
And keep in mind, that's into a really stiff wind. We got a flag out here.
And that's back at the 45-yard line. What might that be?
Let's hope it's against them.
If that's the case, depending on what it is. Unsportsmanlike conduct against Crosby. 15 yards. That's an automatic first down. Wow.
That's number 42's first unsportsmanlike foul.
Now,
it's half a distance to the goal.
Okay, so Crosby will keep the ball. It's after the play was dead that they called unsportsmanlike conduct. So Crosby will take it, but they're going to, after the penalty, start that drive back at their 13-yard line.
Well, it wasn't what we were hoping.
I'd like to have had the ball back in midfield.
But it does put them in quite a pickle here. The ball.
Yes, it does.
Inside their 15.
Again, we've seen Crosby be explosive. They've got some big players on their offense. But if it takes more than 2 seconds for that ball to come out, that defensive line is all over their quarterback, Kyron Miles.
Yeah, that's what has really broken down their passing attack. Is they just don't have any time, and Miles doesn't have any time to get rid of the ball.
Ball's on the right hash mark on 1st and 10 from the Crosby 13-yard line. They'll send a man in motion with a jet sweep, fake it, and Miles will run it. And he's got running room to the 25, 30, 35, and he goes down after picking up the first down. Willie Nelson makes the stop. And now right up to the line of scrimmage for tempo. They get a 20-yard gain on the play. It's 1st and 10. They'll hand it off. Levi Fontenot. And this time, no running room. He gets shoved back. Sorry. They're running plays really fast right now.
Tadarian Boone making the tackle.
Crosby Cougars at their own 37. Running the sweep. Fumble! Ball, fight for it. Lobos come up with it. Zarius picked it up. Zarius Shepard.
Wow.
And the Lobos get a big turnover.
They get the fumble, and it's deep in their territory. This is a great opportunity for Longview to really stretch their lead out here.
They'll start with a short field. They'll be at the Crosby 32-yard line. 9:35 to play in the third quarter. Lobos on first down. Rolling left, the quarterback. Down the sidelines, Jordan Allen to the 15, and he gets run out of bounds.
That's two plays where he's run the ball, and both of them have been big pickups for Longview.
He's out of bounds. They'll spot him at the 19. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Lobos with 9:27 to play. Here in the third quarter, they lead 28-15 over Crosby. A chance to widen the gap. At the Crosby 19, too wide to the right, I formation behind the quarterback Allen. Handoff up the middle, Tatum. Bust a hole, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Touchdown number 5, Taylor Tatum. Wow. 19 yards. Sorry, Johnny.
That's just impressive. I don't think guys had a great night. 5th touchdown.
Unbelievable. And it's just a drive-off tackle. And he just busts right through it.
The thing is, he's a powerful runner, but he's probably the fastest guy on the field, too. And that just makes it really difficult.
Fields kicks the extra point. And that makes it Longview 35, Crosby 15, with 9:19 to go in the third quarter. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Lobos score on a 32-yard drive after a turnover. Zarius Shepard recovers a fumble. Taylor Tatum takes it in from 19 yards out for his 5th touchdown of the night. Longview up 35-15 with 9:19 to go in the third quarter from Lobo Stadium.
Well, that's set up by the fumble, but Longview gets the ball, drives in, gets the score, doing just the things you need to do. You don't want to let them get back in the game. 35-15, 9:19 play.
High kick, it's short. Taken at the 25 on a fair catch. Crosby will start at their own 25-yard line. Now trailing 35-15.
I tell you, Brian, this is when you go into the playoffs, it's important that you play like this. You know, you don't let up. You make the big plays. We got to stretch here and see how far we can go. And this is a good test. And Crosby's got a good team, but Longview has stepped up and played exceptional so far in this game.
They'll come out on the gun with running backs on either side of Kyron Miles. He'll hand it off on a sweep. No, he'll keep it. And he'll fight to the 30-yard line where he's tackled after a short gain on the play.
Kyron Miles on the keeper.
And it was Billy Smith that made the stop after a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 from the 30. Again, split backfield alongside of Miles. Back to throw. Miles, deep ball, left side. Receiver stumbled, and he was covered very closely out there by number 9, Jaden Simmons. Incomplete. 3rd down and 5.
Intended for Womack.
That's good defensive coverage.
So here's a big 3rd down play for Crosby, trying to stay in this game. Lobos have given up 8 points the entire second half of every game. Ball gets away from Miles. He has to run back to the 15. He's sacked. Bad snap. And he's tackled back there by Billy Smith.
Who else? Who else would you expect to be getting it back there?
Crosby making all the mistakes now. And they're going to have to punt from deep in their own territory. Longview with another chance to play with a very short field, up 35-15. Willie Nelson lined up at midfield. He had a 94-yard punt return last week against West Mesquite.
You might get a chance to return this one because it's going to be with the wind.
4th down and 20. Punter's back at his own. One low end-over-end kick. Bounces at the 48 and then rolls into Longview territory. Nelson's got to get away from it at the 47-yard line. And so it'll be 1st and 10 Lobos in great field position, though, at their own 47.
He punted the ball with the wind in his back, but he just didn't hit it right, and it was really low, and so no chance for return on that one.
He's not gotten any air under his punts all night long. From the 47, 1st and 10 Lobos. I formation. They'll send Hale sliding inside closer on the left side. Allen back to throw. Deep shot downfield again. It looks like the wind caught it and it died. It was about 5 yards short of Jalen Hale, so they're trying the deep balls, but they're throwing into a really heavy wind.
You're not going to be able to do that with the wind the way it is. I mean, he just didn't have the arm to get it out that far. I mean, it's worth taking a shot, but it's just not likely.
That wind right now blowing at about 14 miles an hour out of the southeast. And the Lobos going directly into it. 2nd down and 10 from the 47. Hale goes in motion to the near side. They'll hand it off. Check that. Yes, and Taylor Tatum goes right up the middle. Across the 50. Now they'll spot him right at the 50 for a gain of 4. Now it's 3rd down.
122 yards for him.
Joel Paradis on the stop.
Tatum checks out of the ball game right now. I'd be tired if I had 5 touchdown runs.
Really?
Rain still falling with a double wing. It's 3rd down and 7. Blitz coming from the outside. Allen steps up, pulls it down. Now he's going to run, gets a block from Reese. And he got blasted right there in front of the Longview bench on the sidelines at the Crosby 40-yard line. But he paid the price and got real close to the 1st down.
Wow.
Now, is there a flag? Boy, I mean, he got hit right at the sideline. Well, I don't know what the situation is. They're coming back like it's an incomplete pass. Unless they said he ran out of bounds over at the 48-yard line.
That's the only thing it can be. I mean,
that means Longview's going to come out and punt, so they miss a good opportunity with great field position. Line of scrimmage is the Crosby 48. Fields back at his own 37. He'll step into it to the right side, punts it. It dies at the 15, picked up at the 10, to the 15, tripped up. Good coverage downfield by the Lobo.
Jaden Simmons.
That's great coverage.
Yep. Simmons. I'm telling you, their kick coverage has been fantastic tonight. Jaden Simmons right down all over the punt returner and trips him up back at the 15-yard line. .6:45 to go in the 3rd quarter. Crosby will start at their own 15-yard line. They have not had much field position. 1st and 10, they trail 35-15. Split backfield, they'll try to run it again. And Miles comes up limping as he handed it off. He is really favoring that right ankle. That'd be a major blow to Crosby if they lose their quarterback. No gain on the play, and he is jumping up and down. He got tweaked on that right ankle. But he stays in the ball game. They lost a yard on the play. Second down and 11. RPO over the middle, picked off. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown to Darian Boone.
You don't throw at Darian Boone.
Oh, check that. I'm sorry. It's Willie Nelson. It's Willie Nelson that picked it off and took it back for the score. Willie Nelson with the interception.
You don't throw at Willie Nelson either.
25-yard return. And a touchdown for the Lobos. Defense getting in on boy. Willie Nelson made a great interception there.
Illegal blindside block.
Uh-oh.
On the defense, number 78. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
So
it's first and 10.
That's going to wipe the touchdown off.
Wow.
But the interception stands. An illegal blindside block. While Nelson was trying to take it into the end zone. Wipes out the touchdown, but Longview's going to have the ball at the Crosby 23-yard line. Big turnover, though, for Longview. From the 23, first down, Tatum sweeps left, runs over a tackler at the 20-yard line.
Taylor,
He just ran over Aiden Jones.
Just power. He's just a powerful back, and that's just.
He just lowered his shoulder and just, he said, "You want to go ahead and break down and try to bring me down, big boy? Get a taste of this." 3 yards on the game, but a great finish for Taylor Tatum. It's second down and 7. From the eye, 2 tight ends. Allen changing the play. Handoff. Tatum looking for a hole. Fights for short yardage to the 17. Another gain of 3.
Tatum on the carry.
It'll be third down and 4. Longview at the Crosby 17-yard line.
Copeland Winfont on the stop.
Lobos up by 20 and a chance to really, if not put this thing away, make it awfully hard on Crosby to come back. Two tight ends. Hale lined up in close on the right side. I formation. Stretch play. Handoff Tatum. Tatum tries the left side. Gets to about the 13-yard line.
Tatum on the carry.
He's short of the first down by a yard. They give him the 14. He's got to get to the 13 for the first. They are obviously going to go for it with 4:08 to play in the third quarter. Here come the Lobos on 4th and 1. I formation. Hale lined up on the right side. Quarterback sneak. Jordan Allen gets the first down. Big push up the middle by the Longview offensive line.
The keeper, he picks up the first down.
And he's a big quarterback too, and he gets behind the line and he's going to move people, and that's what happened.
He got it just beyond the 13. So it's 1st and 10. Lobos can get a first down without getting a touchdown. The ball's on the 12-yard line. 3:21 in a fast-moving third quarter. Again, they just keep coming out in that 2 tight end set in the I formation. Allen under center. They'll hand up. Play action, rolling right. Allen fires it. It's dropped. Out in the right flat, Elijah Johnson. Passing game just not having much to do tonight.
Completed 2 of 8 so far, but they've had at least 2 drops.
For A.J. Johnson.
The 2 easiest throws that Allen's had to make today, he's hit the receivers both times, and running backs coming out of the backfield, and they've dropped the ball.
Yeah, on different sides of the field.
Right. Hale comes off the field. It's a tough night to throw the ball anyway because, again, they're going into the teeth of a wind. It's raining. Ball's wet. Lobos on 2nd and 10. A lot of confusion in that backfield. They're going to have to call a timeout. Folks not knowing where to line up.
Timeout.
So with 3:04 to go here in the third quarter, Longview has to call their first timeout of this half. Their lead 35-15 with 3:04 to play. What kind of mood do you think John King's going to be in when he comes up here tonight?
Yeah, probably mixed. He'll be really glad about a lot of things, and then some of these others he probably will be unhappy.
They haven't played a clean game on offense, but their defense has been so good.
Yeah.
And Taylor Tatum's been spectacular in the running game.
Yeah, that overcomes everything else.
And again, it's a bad weather night. It's not a brutal night or anything like that. It's just an uncomfortable, messy evening, and that's going to affect your play as well.
I tell you just can't underestimate what a good defense they'll do for you, though, and Longview has got one.
They have an excellent defense. They'll come in the I formation. They've got wide receivers to either side. Play action. Blitz coming on the outside. They tried to set up a screen. He couldn't get the ball off, and he's sacked. Back at the 27-yard line by number 5, Aiden Jones, the linebacker. They had blitzers coming from both edges as Allen was trying to set up that screen pass, and he just could not get the ball off. So now it's 3rd down and 9 miles.
That timeout didn't work, did it?
No. I think that's what John King's going to be really frustrated about is you call a timeout to set up something, and then it blows up. 3rd down and 23. Lobos have the ball at the Crosby 25-yard line. They've got to get to the 3-yard line for a first down. They send 3 wide outs, wide right. Jet motion to the near side. Allen fires the ball over, and it's incomplete, intended for number 81, Jamerson Derensburg. Again, ball was catchable.
That's 3 drops that we've seen tonight.
Ran a square out. He was open at the 10 and it just came off his hands.
He just got to make the catch there.
So it's 4th down now, and Michael Fields will come out to try a field goal. Longview with a lot of opportunities here in the third quarter, but they've not been able to cash in on them. Ball's going to be spotted at the 32. It's a 42-yard field goal into that stiff wind, and it didn't make it. I'm telling you, that's a tough situation for a kicker to try to kick into this wind.
Yeah. I tell you, I think part of that, the reason they even tried to do that, is I don't think they believed that he was going to kick that 42-yarder into the wind. Mm-hmm. But he's had so few opportunities, and you going in the playoffs, somewhere along the line, you got to have the field goal kicker come in and make a kick, and I think that's what that was all about right there.
Well, Crosby gets a stop on the missed field goal, and the ball goes over to the Cougars at their own 25-yard line. 1:56 to play in the third quarter. Sending a man in motion to the far side. Rolling to his left is Miles. Miles with pressure. Miles has to go up front. Hit again behind the line of scrimmage. Another sack for the Longview Lobos. And once again, Omarion Watkins. And Miles is getting beat up.
Omarion Watkins and Ethan Pulte.
Pulte in on the stop as well, but I mean, Miles just has nowhere to go.
But who flushed him out of the pocket was Caden Brooks as he came up on a blitz, forced him out of the pocket, and the other 2 guys cleaned up. But not for Caden Brooks, there wouldn't have been a sack.
1:43 to play. It's in the third quarter. It's 35-15. Longview on top. Split backfield. In the gun, Miles will try to run it to the right. There's no running room. He just ran into a wall. 4 Lobos, led by Pulte.
on the carry.
Yarborough was the runner.
Ethan Pulte on the tackle.
So now it's 3rd down and 12. Umbrellas up all over the stadium. Cheerleaders in plastic. Just kind of one of those wet, cold nights. .52 seconds to go in the third quarter. 3rd down and 12. Twin wide receivers. Miles throws a deep ball right side, overthrown and incomplete. Intended for number 22, David Ards.
Yeah, he threw that into coverage. Longview had at least 2 people around the receiver.
Kyron Miles pass intended for.
So now the punt team comes on for Crosby. Nelson, who had an interception a few minutes ago in this third quarter that ended up in no points. He had taken it back for a touchdown, but an illegal block wiped that touchdown off the board. Udy is back at his own 8-yard line. Pressure comes in his face. He steps aside and then kicks it, gets it off, and it ends up rolling out of bounds around the 48-yard line in Crosby territory. That's only going to be a kick of about 38 yards.
Yeah, but that was a great play by the punter. He saw it was going to be blocked. He takes the ball down, steps away from the would-be blocker, and then makes a kick. I mean, that was impressive on his part.
Showed some poise. 32 seconds to go in the third quarter. Lobos up 35-15. And they have the ball at the Crosby 47-yard line. Handoff. Left side, bouncing it outside. Taylor Tatum, 40, 35, 30. Runs out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Taylor Tatum on the carry. He picks up.
That guy is unbelievable.
It's just pure speed there.
They'll mark him out at the 25. It's a 23-yard run by Taylor Tatum with 22 seconds to go. Clock stopped as Tatum ran out of bounds. So it's 1st and 10 for the Lobos. They're at the Crosby 25-yard line with a 20-point lead. They send Tatum in the right to the slot. Hale goes in motion on a jet sweep. He takes the handoff. Gets a block at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Jalen Hale. 25 yards.
Hale takes it in for a Lobo touchdown.
He looked like a running back. They give him the ball. He makes an inside move, goes out to the corner, outruns everybody into the end zone.
And the Lobos about to blow this thing open as the rain is coming down harder now. Michael Fields comes on to try the extra point. Snap is back, kick is up, and it's good. And the score now, Longview 42, Crosby 15. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
East Texas. It's simpler life that we all enjoy and one we call home. We've been serving our neighbors for over 60 years. From the very beginning, through the college years, and when they return to begin their lives. We're more than a bank, established in Texas for Texans. We're East Texas Professional Credit Union, and we're here for you. Welcome home.
Lobos get another score on the board. This time, Jalen Hale with a 25-yard touchdown run off the 47-yard drive. And Longview up 42-15 with 12.7 seconds to go in the third quarter. Things stand the way they are right now. Longview plays Frisco Lone Star next week. We don't know where or when yet, and probably won't know till tomorrow or late tonight. That'll be after we go off the air.
Yeah.
Fields.
John Monsivais with the
Monsivais, rather, now kicking it off, and it's a fair catch taken at the 29-yard line.
Only thing I would say about that, occasionally coaches will talk about where they're going to play
That's
the next
true.
week, depending on who wins and loses. So, I mean, it's conceivable that that's already been done, although
And
I
you're
doubt
right.
it. Yeah.
You're absolutely right. I'd like to believe that they have it already decided, and that we know right off the bat where we're going to be next weekend. I set my expectations low, you know. 3 wide outs to the right. Miles throws back to his left on a screen pass, and coming up to blow it up. Great play by the defense on the Longview right side. I believe that is Tadarian Boone there. They set it up. They had 3 wide outs to the right side. Miles rolled it to the right and then threw it back on a screen. I'm sorry, Jaden Simmons hit him, and then Boone knocked him out of bounds.
Jaden Simmons on the stop.
Catch was made by number 22, David Ards, but nowhere to go. 2nd down and 10. That rain is coming down. Handoff, blown up in the backfield. No chance. And again, Smith in on the tackle as the clock runs out in the 3rd quarter. End of 3. Longview 42, Crosby 15. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
And for the win, name something that is hard to find.
Your keys. 4-leaf clover. Needle in a haystack. True love.
I'm sorry, the correct answer is a job. Better luck next time.
Don't trust luck. Trust First Choice Personnel. For years, First Choice has been delivering hard-to-find talent, even in highly competitive sectors. First Choice Personnel will be the only choice you need. FirstChoicePersonnel.net.
Tonight's ball game brought to you in part by Flood Out, Bug Police, First Choice Personnel, National Wholesale Supply, Longview Kilgore Cable, Story and Hoover Law Firm, Eastman Credit Union, McDaniels Quality Body Works, Telco Plus Credit Union, Longview Orthopedics, Bish's RV, Peters Automotive Group, Christus Medical Center, Soapy's Car Wash, East Texas Professional Credit Union, and GZ's Asian Bistro. Final 12 minutes of this bi-district playoff game from Lobo Stadium. Brian Houston along with Johnny Vaughn, and Longview up 42-15. Trying to nail this one down, survive and advance. 3rd down and 12 for Crosby. They're at their own 28-yard line. They're going into that win now. Miles back to throw. Pressure coming. Gets hit as he throws it. It's almost intercepted. That was almost picked off by Drake Mayfield.
Again, though, that was also pressure put on. Forced him to throw it before he was ready. He made a pretty good throw, but the ball was dropped. But it's just so much pressure being put on him on every play. Now they got to punt into this win.
Longview defense has just been suffocating when it comes to a pass rush.
Yeah, I believe this may be their best defensive effort.
Line of scrimmage the 28. Udy, the punter, is back at his own 13. He gets the punt off again. It's a low end over end, hard to field punt. Drives Willie Nelson back. He's going to get away from it, and it's going to die at the 31-yard line of Longview. That's going to be a 42-yard punt. It's ugly as all get out, but it's very effective.
Yeah. Punting it into the wind, and he punts it low and end over end, and ended up rolling a long way.
Lobos will start with 11:43 to go here in the ball game.
You know, a couple of things that this does when you play in the wind. It's the first time this year we've played in it. We've adapted to that. And then the bad cold weather, and we get an opportunity to play in that, so you'll be ready for it the next time, or more prepared, I think.
That's right. They haven't had to play in this kind of weather all year. They had the rain on the first game against McKinney Boyd, and the rest of the time it's been perfect weather. Handoff right side, Elijah Johnson, short gain out to about the 32-yard line, nothing else. Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8.
Aiden Jones making the tackle.
Wind chill now feels like 37. Nice and wet and cold. Playoff weather. From the 33-yard line. 2nd down and 8. I formation. Turn, handoff. Tatum breaks a tackle up the middle. 40, 45, still running. 50 into Lobo territory, Crosby territory at the 48-yard line.
Picks up a first down for the Lobos.
19-yard run.
He's been unbelievable.
He just explodes into the secondary. .10:34 to go in the ball game. 42-15, Longview over Crosby, and by district play from Lobo Stadium. Next week, boy, John King is just giving somebody all what for. Officials standing on the sidelines there is taking some abuse. Double wing with the shotgun. Allen back to throw. Play action. Fires left side. It was thrown behind the receiver. Passing game's just pretty ugly tonight. DeKalen Reese was the intended receiver. You would expect an ugly passing game on a night like tonight, as wet and cold as it's been.
2 for 10, so.
If you want to talk about a negative, that'd be about one of the few.
Yeah, that's about it.
And they haven't really needed it. Because the Lobos have been pretty much in control of this thing since middle of the second quarter. Oh, by the way, they've not been scored on in the fourth quarter this entire season. Handoff, right side, into the secondary, going 35, 30. Elijah Johnson caught from behind at the 27-yard line. 22-yard run. Okay, they're just carving up the Crosby defense now.
It's got to be frustrating if you're the defense, because it's one thing when you got one back that just can't stop, but then when you got two, it's just nowhere to hide, you know.
It's not a coincidence after that, right?
No.
9:33 to go in the ball game. Longview up 42-15 over Crosby. And at the Crosby 27-yard line now. 2 wideouts, wing to the right. Play action. Throwing a fade into the end zone. It's overthrown. Intended for Jalen Hale. It's a frustrating night for receivers because it just has not been there tonight.
It's almost as difficult to throw with the wind as it is to throw into the wind. And when you throw with it, you almost always overthrow, and when you got an injury.
Let's see, we got a lineman down. I'm trying to catch the number there. It's 70. And he's holding that left ankle. I think I'm going to hold off on saying anything because I don't know. But Mongo Williams had limped off the field earlier with the ankle, and I think that's the same ankle, and he's getting looked at right now. Let's take a 30-second timeout. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Oh, wait a minute. Time out. Whoa, time out.
This timeout brought to you by First Choice Personnel. For all your hiring needs. More Lobo football coming up.
Mitch's RV is a bit new around here, so we have questions. What exactly is bigger in Texas? Is it really everything, or is it just high school football? We can't wait to see for ourselves every Friday night with our Longview Lobos family. Bitches is built on family and fun and lifelong memories. Sounds like football in Texas, right? So we got your back every pregame, tailgate, postgame, after party, and everything in between. Go Lobos! Bitches RV, where memories begin.
Tavion Morgan, the center, was the man who had to come off with the left ankle, and into the ball game for him is number 63, Caleb Reinhart. He's a junior. That's always a little sketchy when you lose your center.
Yeah.
Especially when you like to run the gun as much as Longview does. And they're going to run from the gun here on 2nd down and 10 from the Crosby 27. Snap was a little bit high. And the ball into the right-hand side. That's Elijah Johnson. He's going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown from 27 yards out. Wow. 27-yard touchdown run, Elijah Johnson. And that was the third explosive run play in that drive.
They just, it's a 1-2 punch. What can you say?
Oh, and there's a flag. There's a flag back at the 18. Is that a block in the back? Are they going to pull this touchdown off? Let's see what that's about. They're talking it over. But they're talking to the Longview players. Johnson comes to the sidelines. He's talking to Coach King. Soto's coming in now. King's out at the numbers now, wanting to talk to an official and find out what's going on here. And if that touchdown's going to stand.
Good.
Okay, here we go.
After the touchdown, there are 2 unsportsmanlike fouls on the offense. The first is on number 81. The second foul is on number 15. That's number 15 and number 81's first unsportsmanlike for the game.
Jamerson Darrensburg and Elijah Johnson both get flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct after the touchdown. So the score stands. And a little bit of chirping going on. With 9:03 to play in this ball game. Fields is going to try the extra point. This would make it 49-15. Kick is up. Kick is good. 9:03 to play in this bi-district contest at Lobo Stadium. Longview 49, Crosby 15. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
The best things in life are free. You know, the simple things. Things that bring us joy, comfort, and peace of mind. Things you simply enjoy. With Eastman Credit Union's Beyond Free checking account, that's exactly what you'll get. A checking account that meets your financial needs with no hassles, no hidden fees, and all the features that make managing your money stress-free. Experience the freedom of a Beyond Free checking account from Eastman Credit Union. Open your account today at ecu.org/free.
Well, Johnny, it has been a dominant performance by the Longview running game tonight. In fact, the lines of scrimmage on both sides of the ball they've been the key to this whole game tonight.
Well, you look at it, Taylor Tatum's got 122 yards and he scored 5 touchdowns. Elijah Johnson's got 127 yards and a touchdown, and Jalen Hale has got 43 yards and a touchdown running.
Passing game's been non-existent and they haven't needed it.
2 for 5.
They penalized Longview on the kickoff, a 15-yard penalty for 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties against Darrensburg and Elijah Johnson. And so kicking from the 25, it's going to be taken at the 15, brought out to the 20, 25, 30, then down at the 30-yard line, Braden Womack. And again, great kick coverage. Tackle was made back there by Jameis Morrow. And so Crosby now trailing 49-15. They led 15-14 in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been all Longview since then.
It was a wild and scary first quarter, as it seems like Crosby was coming out with every trick in the book, and they were working, and they had jumped up on Longview 15-14. But since then, Lobos have just taken control. Jet sweep this time. Sweeping to the right side, dropped in the backfield. No chance for Braden Womack as the lateral pursuit was out there. Another flag. Okay, now this is starting to get out of control. Stretching that play out, a great play
That they had found a necklace.
by Chase Smith.
Yeah,
You're not going to make a living running sideline to sideline against the Longview Lobos.
Not going to do it at all. I think this is going to be go against Longview, and they're going to consider a late hit. And I don't think this is a good call either.
Let's see what they call. Yeah, I don't see a late hit here either. Now let's see if it is a late hit.
Personal foul on the defense, number 45, targeting.
Ooh.
Defenseless player.
Jeremiah Rusley.
From the previous spot, it's an automatic first down. The foul was deemed a non-flagrant. That's number 45's first targeting foul.
So Jeremiah Rusley's going to stay in the game, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty out to the 45-yard line. Crosby 1st and 10. 3 wide to the right, 2 to the left. Quick screen out to the right, it's dropped. Miles threw it out there, and just like the Longview receivers, Crosby's receiver's not doing a good job of hanging onto a wet ball either. Christian Robertson let it get right through his hands to his body and off his chest.
He's made some good throws that hadn't been caught by them.
5 wide again. Miles back to throw. Pressure, has to throw it over the middle. It's broken up. Willie Nelson did a great job. Braden Womack was the intended receiver. Miles really dancing, trying to get that ball off before he got hit, and actually threw it into a big crowd, but right on the number for Womack, who couldn't hang on to it thanks to Willie Nelson's play. 3rd down and 10 from the 46. Crosby in their own territory. 4 wide this time. Twins to either side. Miles back to throw. Fires left side. It's caught at the 45-yard line in Longview territory. And the receiver is dropped right there. The catch made by Cade Udy, number 13.
Adrian Garrett on the
Buddha Garrett made the tackle.
He put the hammer down on him, too.
10-yard gain, and it's 1st and 10 for Crosby in the Longview 44-yard line with 7:38 to go in the ball game. 49-15, Longview on top. 2 wide to the right side. Hand off to Fontenot, nowhere to run. Ran right into a wall. That defense has just been suffocating tonight. And no chance. Caden Brooks in on the stop. Right also there.
They got less than 100 yards rushing against Longview tonight.
And their game is to throw it all over the field. They've just not been able to do it on a wet night like tonight. That's the danger of running an offense like this.
Well, and on top of that is the defensive fronts put so much pressure on, so you're throwing a lot of times into the wind with the rain, and the Lobos all over you.
8 guys hanging on your shoulders, right? Play action, and then Miles keeps it. He's going to run it up the middle and get to about the 38-yard line. I'm sorry, to the 42 in Longview territory. It's 2nd down and 8. 3rd down and 8 now. 6:28 to go in the ball game. We'll be talking to Coach John King after this game. Be interesting to hear his thoughts on how the Lobos played in this playoff game that has turned into a blowout after a shaky first quarter. Third down and 8. Crosby. Miles back to throw, rolls to his right, fires under pressure. It's dropped and almost picked off. It was deflected, and the ball was up in the air. And Miles' pass had no chance. Again, he's trying to get the ball off as fast as he can. It was thrown behind his intended receiver, bounced off his hands, and then it almost ended up in Braden Womack's hands. He couldn't hang on to it. Lobo defender unable to pick it off. 4th down and 8.
That was heavy pressure again from Billy Smith.
From the Longview 42, Crosby on 4th down. Back to throw, Miles. Pressure coming, goes down again.
It's just
good night. That is unbelievable. 65, Jordan Wright.
I mean, you got to feel sorry for them.
And Miles is hurt. Miles has been twisted. They got two guys down right now. Ooh, Miles may have twisted an ankle. And then his offensive lineman also, number 60, Levi Langley, down as well. Both of those guys, they are getting beat up by this Longview defense.
I mean, it's tough. I mean, they either get hit or nearly hit every time they go back to pass.
Andrew Tutt taking snaps now from the center, and Tutt's going to come into the ball game now. So with 5:43 to go in the ball game, John King knows this thing's wrapped up, and he's going to get some guys in the game. Because this will be this senior class's last home game here at Lobo Stadium.
Yep.
And that's going to mean something to them to know they go out on this kind of note in a bi-district playoff game.
It's an impressive performance by the Lobos.
They'll come out with two wide to the left side, I formation. They'll turn and hand it off. And to the 50-yard line, I believe that's Washington. They said the ball came out, but he'd been blown dead. It was Kelvin Washington is the running back. He gained 2 on the play. Did they give the ball to Crosby?
I guess
wow, they called it a fumble, and they gave the ball to Crosby at the 49-yard line. I sure thought he was down.
I did too.
John King's not going to be real thrilled with the officiating tonight, I can tell you that. So Crosby gets the ball back on the turnover. Some things to clean up on this ball game of this fourth quarter. The unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and the turnovers. And Coach King will have plenty to keep his team's attention this week.
It hasn't been a perfect game, but
got a new quarterback in the ball game. That's Udy now. Cade Udy at quarterback. Hands it off. Coming left is Fontenot. And again, man, there is no running room. Go sideline to sideline. You're not going to get far. Caden Brooks made the stop. No gain on the play. Second down. Well, he lost a yard. Second down and 11 back to the 50. 5:09 to go in the game. Longview versus Frisco Lone Star next week. In round 2 of the playoffs. Split backfield. In the gun, Udy. Hands it off. Sweeping right. Getting to about the 46-yard line. That's Wesley Yarbrough. And that'll make it 3rd down and 8. Rugeley made the stop. It's 4:40 to go in the game. Clock running. Crosby in no big hurry to get the play.
No.
They know this thing's done. It's baked.
I don't believe they'll throw here. Do you?
I'd be surprised. Why? Especially throwing into that wind. Udy, ball's on the ground. He has to pick it up, and then he gets knocked down. That Longview pressure just keeps coming out. It's almost like they're going against air. The offensive line can't handle anything.
They cannot block Longview, period.
I think that was Rugeley that got in there that time. Lost back to the 47-yard line in Crosby territory, and now it's going to be 4th down and 15.
They're going to go for it?
Well, might as well. 4 wideouts. Udy back to throw again, pressure. 3 guys on top of him. It's just been this way all night long. Billy Smith again.
Billy Smith. I mean,
it's a gang tackles every time the quarterback goes back there. You got 3 or 4 guys right in his face. Just collapse the pocket.
I mean, it is. It's like a race to get there.
3:23 to go in the game. Lobos take it over in Crosby territory at the 41-yard line. They lead it 49-15. Tutt hands off up the middle. A push to the 37-yard line. Trying to make out who might have carried the ball. There's that Soto.
I couldn't see the number.
I can't either.
See when he gets up.
Yeah, well, they're not going to let me see him. Checking into the game now, Alex Hawkins. It was a gain of about 3 on the play. Ball's at the 38-yard line in Crosby territory. Lobos now 3 minutes even left in the game. Washington in at tailback. I do believe that's Soto. No, I'm sorry, that is 41. Alex Hawkins in at fullback. Washington gets the handoff. This time hangs on to it and gets maybe a yard. Stop on the play by number 21, Tyler Larrabee. 2:33 to go in the game. Lobo's just going to stand around and let the clock run down as far as it can go before they take another snap. John King checking the clock. There's 20 seconds left on the play clock.
Reminder to all spectators, UIL rule and Longview.
Now we're at 10 seconds to go on the play clock, and they've break the huddle. They'll try to snap it around 4 or 3 seconds. They get it off with 2. Hand it off to Washington. Right side, he gets to the 35-yard line. Another 3-yard gain. And again, we'll watch another 40 seconds run off the clock once they start it. They haven't even started the play clock yet. Now a timeout is being called.
They've got an injured player.
Okay. So with that timeout, 1:35 remaining in the game. Longview 49, Crosby 15. Let's take that 30-second timeout with them. You're listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Start checking at Telco Plus Credit Union to be a winner. Their checking accounts are awesome. Direct deposit is paid 2 days early. Bill pay is free. Overdraft or no overdraft options. And they set you up to win a free app, low balance alerts, and budget software. They have discounts for students and seniors. Open a checking account today with your hometown credit union, Telco Plus, to save and earn more. Federal insured by the NCUA. Checking approval and membership qualifications apply. Visit telcoplus.org for details and restrictions.
Brian Houston and Johnny Vaughn at Lobo Stadium, where the Longview Lobos have 4th and 4 at the Crosby 35-yard line. Longview up 49-15 over Crosby and about to advance to the area round of the playoffs, where they are likely to meet Frisco Lone Star next week. They'll come out in the I formation with 1 wide receiver. And again, they'll let that play clock run down. It's at 10 right now. We'll snap it at 6. Hand it off up the middle. Washington. Washington gets to the 29-yard line. That'll be good for a first down for Longview. They may run one more play in this game, Johnny.
Yeah, I think this will be it.
Longview Lobos will go to 11-0. And although it wasn't perfect, it was pretty dominant.
Yeah.
Now they're going to get into the victory formation, take a knee, and that's going to do it. Longview wins it by a score of 49-15. Playoff win number 1 in the bag. And John King and the Lobos move on to the next round.
Well, he's got to be happy with the effort tonight, the play of both the offense and the defense. Just a few bumps in the road, but it's a great way to start the playoffs.
Especially after the way Crosby got off to the start that they got off to. They jumped out, and I mean, they had Longview on their heels in that first quarter and led 15-14, and then managed to, gather their wits and kind of get their composure and then settle down and just beat up Crosby.
And then it was all Longview the rest of the way.
Let's take a timeout, and we'll come back and recap this ball game and get ready to talk to Coach John King. The final score again, Longview 49, Crosby 15. Longview advances to the second round of the playoffs. You are listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Stuffing more people in your house this holiday? You'll be thankful for the fastest internet. Get Cable Link's broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data together for under $25 per month. All your wireless devices connect best with Cable Link's broadband, especially when you have friends and family come over with all their devices. Plus, we make it easy to switch. There's no credit check, no money up front, and no deposit. This holiday, gather family and friends for pie and Wi-Fi. Download Family Games at cablelinks.com/thankful. That's cablelinks.com/thankful. And get Cable Links broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data under $25 per month. Order Cable Links today at 800-903-0508. That's 800-903-0508. Or email support at cablelinks.com. Or click to chat through cablelinks.com. Offers expire without notice and many factors affect speed. Other restrictions may apply.
East Texas. It's simpler life that we all enjoy and one we call home. We've been serving our neighbors for over 60 years. From the very beginning, through the college years, and when they return to begin their lives. We're more than a bank, established in Texas for Texans. We're East Texas Professional Credit Union, and we're here for you. Welcome home.
GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar, the perfect venue for your office holiday party. David and his staff will make it a fantastic event with great food and an inviting atmosphere. It's time to book your company party at GZ's. How about an office lunch or cocktail party with fresh sushi and Asian delicacies along with cheese and fruit trays? The holidays get even merrier by taking your employees or family to GZ's Asian Bistro. Reserve your holiday party. Call 247-8000. That's 247-8000. Gift certificates available. GZ's Asian Bistro and Sushi Bar in the Village on Judson Road in Longview.
Come see for yourself why more East Texans buy at Peters than any other dealer. Experience fun and freedom with the legendary Jeep line at Peters, built with you in mind and ready for adventure. Choose from the largest inventory in East Texas with nationwide delivery. Or come see us to reserve your next new Jeep with the options you want. Peters Jeep in Longview.
When you're in need of collision repair, you need a shop that has a proven track record of being experienced, reliable, and friendly. McDaniel's Quality Body Works has stood the test of time in Longview for 89 years. From the early years of repairing Furies, Bel Airs, and Studebakers to today's complex Cobras, Stingrays, and Silverados, McDaniel's has been committed to your automotive collision repair needs since 1933. McDaniel's Quality Body Works in Longview, Kilgore, and Gilmer is the solution to your collision repair needs.
Welcome to the Longview Lobo postgame show on 106.5 Jack FM.
Brought to you by the law offices of Sorey and Hoover on 106.5 Jack FM.
Lobos are celebrating out on the field and getting that by-district district championship trophy. Coach John King and the Lobos win it tonight by a score of 49-15 over Crosby. We do know that the Lobos will advance to the 5A Division I area round against Frisco Lone Star next Friday night at Kincaid Stadium in Duncanville. We don't know what the the kickoff time is yet. We'll find that out for you. Hopefully, Coach King will be able to tell us that when he gets up here. Recapping the scoring in this ball game, it was a wild, wild first quarter as Crosby came out and just went all the way to the wall trying to do things to shake up the Lobos. They took the opening kickoff after winning the toss. That didn't work out for them. They went 3 and out. They gave the Lobos a short field, 32 yards out. Lobos drove it in. Taylor Tatum with a 19-yard touchdown run made it 7-0. Longview with 8:19 to go in the first quarter. Crosby answered, though. They got a deep ball pass from Miles to Ard that set up a Levi Fontenot 5-yard touchdown run with 5:40 to go in the quarter. That made it 7-all. And then they kicked an onside kick and recovered it and were able to take it 35 yards. Braden Womack with a 34-yard run for the touchdown. They tried for 2, and Fontenot was able to take it in from 1 yard out and Crosby was up 15-7 with 4:48 to go in the first quarter. Still going in the first quarter, Taylor Tatum comes back. Longview with a 51-yard drive, and that made it 15-14. As Longview kicked the extra point, they were willing not to chase that 2-point conversion. Later on, that's where the quarter ended, 15-14, Crosby on top. In the second quarter, though, Longview got it together. They drove 85 yards. Jordan Allen with a long 20-yard run sets up a 21-yard touchdown run by Taylor Tatum with 6:52 to go in the first half. That made it 21-15, Longview back up on top. Longview added a 45-yard touchdown by Tatum with 3:08 to go in the quarter. That made it 28-15, Longview. And then they were able to keep Crosby from scoring there at the end of the half. They went into the half with a score of 28-15 as the lead. Third quarter, Crosby fumbles. Zarius Shepard recovers it, and Longview's able to take it from 32 yards in. Taylor Tatum with a 19-yard touchdown run with 9:19 to play in the third quarter. That makes it 35-15 Longview. Willie Nelson had an interception we thought returned for a touchdown, but it was called back by an illegal block. Longview missed a field goal as they tried to kick it into a heavy wind, but still were able to get something going there right before the quarter ended. Jalen Hale on a sweep ran at 25 yards for a touchdown. That opened up a 42-15 lead for Longview after 3 quarters of play. In the fourth quarter, the Longview running game just took over. Taylor Tatum with a 19-yard run, Elijah Johnson with a 22-yard run, and that capped off a 67-yard drive. Elijah Johnson from 27 yards out with the touchdown. That made it 49-15 with 9:03 to go in the ball game, and that's where the game ends. 49-15, Longview on top. Thoughts about the game tonight, Johnny?
I thought Longview just had a great game, in particular the running game, which you got to compliment the offensive line. But Tatum had somewhere around 180 yards rushing. He had 5 TDs. Elijah Johnson. He had over 100 yards rushing and got a score. The offensive line did a great job. Longview didn't throw the ball much. He threw it just 11 times, just completed 2. But the running game tonight was a difference. And then defensively, I got to say this is the best defensive game we've had this year. I mean, they just stymied a good Crosby team with a lot of skilled people, but they just couldn't do anything. They just could not block the defensive front.
I don't know how many sacks Longview had, but it wouldn't surprise me if they were in double figures tonight in sacks. It was just they were all over Kyrick Miles all night long, and he ended up getting pretty beat up tonight. So Lobo defense really came to play tonight. The Longview running game really came to play tonight. Their kick coverage was fantastic. The only thing really negative about the game was just the passing game had a hard time tonight, but in these weather conditions, that shouldn't surprise anybody. Crosby had the same problems. They could not throw the football, and they lean on the passing game even way more than Longview does.
The other thing, we did have a lot of penalties tonight. Now, some of them seem to be questionable, but some of those could have been critical. So I think if we ask Coach King that's going to be an area that he wants to clean up. But, I mean, I talked about this earlier, but the other thing is we played in the wind, we played in the wet, we played when if you lose you're going home, all those things, and we end up with this big win.
John King already walked up in here. Boy, he made good time in here tonight. I like that. So, come on. It's colder there. You got a little more motivation to move quick tonight. Yeah. John King, 49-15, Longview wins tonight over Crosby. First quarter is a little scary. It's felt a little bit like the Lancaster game, and then things kind of settled down and Lobos took over.
That's what we talked about. We got to weather the storm. When they get through with all their stuff and get them figured out, we can settle down and play ball. We just made too many mistakes. Our own worst enemy with penalties. Extended drives. A fake punt till we get a penalty on. Fourth and forever. We get a penalty on that one, and we just settled down, played ball, and running game got going, and defense, stopped them, got us the ball back, and we extended the lead.
Defensive line, the pass rush was just insane tonight.
Yeah, it was. Put a lot of pressure on them. That was big. It's tough to run. They didn't have Very many big runs. We were worried about the perimeter stuff with all the motion and stuff they're doing with the counteraction, and it wasn't necessarily the run inside of getting on the perimeter, which they hit the big run to 4 on. Got away with the hold over there. We couldn't seem to get a call in the first half.
Yeah, no kidding.
But anyway, like the punt, the fake punt, they throw for a big first down off the penalty. The punter's knee was down. Ball's on the ground. Fish didn't see it, but anyway, so part of it.
Well, one thing I did notice is that when you started windmilling there, I thought you were going to leave the ground and levitate for a while after you didn't get the late hit on the sidelines while they called one on Willie Nelson on the other sideline across the way.
It happened behind the official. He didn't see it. I did, but he didn't see it, and we didn't get the call. But it's like I told him, it's whatever. We're going to move on. I ain't going to change your mind. And this is a good crew. I'm not going to talk about it. Everybody makes mistakes, but it seemed like we just couldn't catch a break. Balls are on the ground. We let them extend drives with penalties, and just if we could ever just stop a drive and get the ball back, we know we're fixed to push the lead and force them to do things they're not going to be real. I wouldn't say successful doing or high on doing.
Tough night to throw the football for both teams. Didn't have much success in the passing game, if any, but boy, that running game was unbelievable.
Yeah, we had a couple of drops there. Had a waggle pass, fullback in the back, hit him in the backfield, hit the tight end, dropped one. But it was tough. And the wind, rain, and we got to do a better job of designing it when we play in those kind of conditions. But the running game got going, and Taylor made some big runs for us. AJ made some big runs. Jalen had some big runs. Said if I can't throw it to him, I hand it to you. So we got going with that. Jordan, we ran him more tonight. He had a couple of big runs for us. So guess what? He's been protected through the season. Didn't have to run him. Didn't want to run him. We know we can run him. I bet he hadn't had 3 or 4 designed runs the whole year up until tonight.
I'm an old guy. My eyes are bad. I may not be seeing what I think I'm seeing, but I saw you moved Tatum around all over tonight. He came off the field a lot in the first half. I thought maybe he might be hurt. And Elijah was getting, seems like, the bulk of the running game, but then you look up and Tatum's got 5 touchdowns. And
how many he had tonight? 5?
5.
One morning he broke the record. I think most people got the record with 5. I've been told about all these dang records this year.
He's a special back.
He's special. He sure is. But he'll be the first to tell you, with his receivers, linemen, tight ends, fullbacks, so he help him get there. And he makes people miss. He can run with power. He can run with, he got home run speed. So he's special. Glad we got him.
Plus, he's got great vision. That's what is so amazing to me. He seems like he knows where to make the cut before anybody else. And that's true of a great back, and he
does. He just got vision for it, and he's patient, but he knows if it's 4th and 1, I ain't got time to pop my feet and dance. I got to stick it in there, and he just an intelligent football player.
A couple of offensive linemen went down for a time. How serious do you think those injuries are?
I don't know about Mongo. He didn't go back in, but Tay Morgan went back in after his. He got rolled up on that play action pass we threw. So we. Hopefully Mongo will be okay, but Tay finished the game. But we don't need to start losing linemen.
No.
But, Reinhardt goes in. He goes in, first play's in there. He has to get in the gun and snap the ball, and we score a touchdown. So, he wasn't quite as nervous as I thought.
it looked good.
Yeah.
I think it's good tonight. You might not think it, but the fact that we had to play in the rain, play in the cold, and play in the wind, something that we haven't really had much of this year. And somewhere along the line, it's going to come in handy that we've already done it once.
Yeah, it should. I guess we should have moved it to Thursday like last 2 weeks.
I don't know about that.
No, me either. But, it doesn't hurt you. It never hurts to have adverse conditions and find a way to pull it out and win. It's part of the game, and the wind probably was more to do with it than the rain.
Yeah.
Okay, so Longview advances. They play Frisco Lone Star. It's at Kincaid Stadium. Do you know what time the kickoff?
I got a text from Jeff Rayburn as soon as I got my phone out of my office, and we hadn't decided on the time.
Okay.
So I'll get with him tomorrow, and I don't know who's home, who's visitor, none of that. All I know is we had a 3-way agreement to get the stadium on a certain night, and that's all we did.
Just got it done.
Nice to deal with good people. Get it done. You ain't going to wake up tomorrow or Sunday and be trying to negotiate that and can't find a stadium. So, but no, Jeff's a good coach. Lone Star's got a good program. Well, we'll have to see. I hadn't watched the moon tape yet. Hadn't had time. Been watching Crosby. But like I told the kids, we got another chance next week. That's all we're guaranteed. We took care of business this week, went 1-0, and we'll have to do the same next week if we want to keep playing together.
Well, it was awfully impressive tonight once everything settled down and that first quarter got out of the way. It was really impressive.
They threw some haymakers, didn't they?
They came out and pulled every trick in the book tonight.
That's everything I've heard about Coach Prieto, and he didn't disappoint us, did he?
No, he didn't.
He said, "Heck, Coach, we knew we had to throw some shots at you," and they did. And that's kind of what bothers you: onside kicks, fake punts, trick plays. Yeah, just you never know what ball bounce is funny. But after we lost that first onside kick, I said, "Whoop." Putting the hands team in. Put the boys out there and see if we can get a kick field.
See, I thought he was crazy for kicking off to us to start because
we kicked to them.
Yeah, I mean Yeah.
He took the ball and let us have the win, but he had something up his sleeve, and they go down and
and then I figured it out. And he wasn't worried about this one; he was worried about the other one we're going to do,
setting it up for the next drive.
Yeah. But nice guy to visit with. We've never played him. I've never met him before tonight. Talked on the phone, but you can tell he does it the right way. That's why they're successful. They've been to the finals and semifinals back-to-back years. So, but nice to get out here with a win.
Well, Coach, congratulations. It was a fantastic performance tonight. Again, it looks real good to get that one in the books. Like you said, winning that first one's huge.
I'm telling you, it's never a good feeling going in anybody first round of the playoffs. I don't care who you play. You're nervous because you don't know. You know how important getting that first one is because you never know what will happen after that. So it just kind of there's so much riding on it, and you want to continue the season. You've had a great regular season. You want these kids to experience that playoff run and the fan support and everything else to be there. And I sure hope we have Lobo Nation out next Friday night at Kincaid. We're going to need them. Lone Star, like I said, Lone Star is a good program, and these kids deserve it. Band, the Vuettes, the dance line, everybody that's part of this high school athletic program or support groups. They need your support, so come on out and let's cheer on the Lobos.
Sounds great. Coach, thanks again for coming up tonight. Congratulations.
You bet.
See you next Friday. All right, that's John King. We'll take a timeout. You're listening to Longview Lobo Football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Dan Story has been named to the top 10 nursing home lawyers in the state of Texas. Many East Texans have questions about the care of their loved ones in a nursing home. They just don't know who to ask. If you suspect your loved one has been abused in a nursing home, unexplained falls and bruises, malnutrition and bed sores, call for a free consultation. 903-CALL-DAN. As a community, it's important to look out and protect our elderly population. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALL-DAN.
Stuffing more people in your house this holiday? You'll be thankful for the fastest internet. Get Cable Link's broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data together for under $25 per month. All your wireless devices connect best with Cable Link's broadband, especially when you have friends and family come over with all their devices. Plus, we make it easy to switch. There's no credit check, no money up front, and no deposit. This holiday, gather family and friends for pie and Wi-Fi. Download family games at cablelinks.com/thankful. That's cablelinks.com/thankful. And get Cable Links broadband up to 150 meg internet and unlimited data under $25 per month. Order Cable Links today at 800-903-0508. That's 800-903-0508. Or email support at cablelinks.com. Or click to chat through cablelinks.com. Offers expire without notice and many factors affect speed. Other restrictions may apply.
Injuries aren't planned, and here at Longview Orthopedic, we're going to work together with patients to try to attain the best outcome possible for them. We have the ability to treat all injuries for all patients and athletes of all ages. One thing I want patients to understand is that, I've been in their situation. I played football at Texas A&M University, played offensive line, I was a guard, and being an athlete, suffering injuries, and having that passion to get back on the field gave me a really good perspective on the other side of the line as a treating physician now here at the Longview Orthopedic Clinic.
Looking for a credit card with a great rate, no annual fee, and 24/7 fraud monitoring? An Eastman Credit Union Visa is exactly what you need this holiday season. Plus, through December 31st, you can earn more rewards and pay less interest. Earn double points on select net purchases using an ECU Cash Rewards or Platinum Preferred card. And pay 2.49% APR on all purchases using any ECU credit card. What are you waiting for? Visit ecu.org/earn-more to get started today.
happy ending to a miserable night at Lobo Stadium where it's raining and cold, but the Longview Lobos have sent the folks home happy tonight. They win at 49-15 in the opener over Crosby, the by-district opener. They'll move on to play Frisco Lone Star at Kincaid Stadium in Duncanville next Friday night, and we don't know the kickoff time yet. We'll probably know something about that sometime tomorrow. But, Johnny, your thoughts about this ball game before we wrap it up?
I thought it was a great effort by Longview, both offensively and defensively. I think we did a lot of really good things, especially defensively. We got to clean up the penalties a little bit. But other than that, I think just about everything else Longview did was an improvement over what they've been doing all year, which is pretty darn good for the year. So I think we got a chance to go a long ways here, but it's one game at a time. But I think this is a good way to start.
Absolutely.
I know that score ends up 49-15. Seems like that game was lopsided. And it was lopsided, but we did a lot of good things against a pretty good football team.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, thank you again very much for being here tonight. As always, great job, and we hope that you guys will join us next Friday night. Again, we'll let you know what time the kickoff is, what time the Coach John King show is next Friday night when we go to the second round of the playoffs with the Longview Lobos taking on the Frisco Lone Star team at Kincaid Stadium in Duncanville. For Matt Morton, for Johnny Vaughn, I'm Brian Houston. Thank you very much for listening tonight. The final score, once again, Longview 49, Crosby 15. You've been listening to Longview Lobo football on 106.5 Jack FM.
Why hire the Lobo lawyers? Because if you've been seriously injured through no fault of your own, you don't have to fight the insurance company alone. We are your pack, and we will fight for you. When it's time to Lobo up and lawyer up, call Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. Board-certified personal injury trial lawyers. 903-CALL-DAN. That's 903-CALLDAN. Sorey and Hoover, the Lobo Lawyers.
Welcome to the Longview Lobo postgame show on 106.5 Jack FM.
Brought to you by the law offices of Sorey and Hoover on 106.5 Jack FM.